Good morning. Well, at least for me, it's morning. I have no idea what time of day it is for the rest of you. Yes, good morning, evening, night, afternoon, middle of the night. One of the times, it is currently one of the times that the human race is experiencing. Hello, Zarota. Wonderful to see you. 3 a.m. Valorian. Valorian. That's a time. Oh my, oh me. 9:30 a.m. I can cope with. Not 3 a.m. We've got the PMs as well. Good. Oh, some people are just experiencing a whole day. What's it like? What have I got to look forward to? Is anything interesting going to happen? That's the important thing. Because, of course, time works like that. It's like, why didn't you warn me something awful was going to happen in a few hours? You've lived it. That's how time works on this planet. Oh, 3:30 in the morning. Okay, it's a different time. It's Exterminatus o'clock somewhere. Yep. It's a different time to be streaming to normal. I thought I'd try and get some different people and see how we're doing. So I got some time zones. Got to do the same thing that the Games Workshop people always do when they attempt a live stream. Which country are people from? That'll give me an idea, at least for this different kind of timed stream, where people are arriving from to be watching. I know Australia is one of them. No countries? What time? Where do we live? That's the question. Where are we currently existing? Estonia. The Pacific. Why isn't my chat box working? Let me try refreshing that. Should come back. Austria, United States, very specifically Washington State, but nowhere necessarily else. Thank you for appreciating the model. Go to Singapore! Yay! And the Germans are up. So who's asleep? Or who should be asleep? Some people in the far side of some world, whatever's not 12 hours away. There's a bunch of places. Free coffee me's been up for 3 hours. Oh, that's sad. I would suggest tea. Tea will work better than coffee. Okay. Have some unpopular opinions. That is the whole idea of today's stream. I don't know why the chat box isn't working. There should be all of your messages appearing next to me on the screen, and it's just a black screen. That's super weird. But YouTube is having problems this morning, and they were having problems yesterday. Where it's like, no one has watched your video in the last 24 hours. And I think, that's unlikely. Loads of people watch it. Just one of the videos, they'll watch it. And then I got like 5 subscriber pings coming through at once. But that's okay. Yeah, the AdMech is needing additional candles. You work night shift, so you should be asleep. Toasty on main, you're switching out your whole sleep schedule. Working the night shift or the evening shift, the late shift, it's not ideal. It is not ideal. Since the chat box is just going to be a black box, I think we'll just have to rely on the YouTube chat box. Hello. Hello, the train master who likes trains. Good. Good. Right, so this is going to be some more unpopular opinions. I've done 2 unpopular opinion streams, and this is intended to finish off all of the different unpopular opinions I've got, and then of course I got more, so we've got to defend them. The idea is I will defend those opinions. Yeah. going to be interesting. I will not get cancelled. I will, of course, choose only the most logical, intelligent, good, yeah, yep, some good things, Mm-hmm. It's gonna be great. Hello, grumpy old badger. Good to see you. You know, at this point where we've got 21 people. Oh, it's gonna be a morning. Yeah. Yes, we'll do unpopular opinions, but I need to vaguely complain about stuff. The thing I'm going to complain about is Games Workshop. Oh, that makes the glasses. I will not look down. The glasses just hover on the end of my nose. We need to stay still. We need to stay still. Work is cancelled today. Yes. Good. I'm going to complain about Games Workshop. It's standard. Standard stuff. Complaining about Games Workshop is not an unpopular opinion, of course. But I'm looking at what's going to happen with the AdMech, not the AdMech. We've looked at what's already happened to the AdMech. And I'm thinking about... Ooh. Yeah. That's an unpopular opinion for sure. I'll just make sure the microphone is not getting in the way of that. Yeah, that's an unpopular opinion. I mean, I'll go with that first. So, yes, she died, she came back. That's unusual. There's some kind of weird heresy going on there. She burns people by being near them. She's weirdly resurrecting. That's got to be Tzeentch. Yeah, I mean, you can just see, like the homunculi are doing with some of the Ynnari, kill them, resurrect them, see how many times it happens, see what they go through, see if they're just like, oh, great, I'm here again. Oh no, I'm gonna stop coming back now. And be like, yes, we gotta, it worked. The book about Celestine is quite good, showing all the stuff she has to go through every time she resurrects. Celestine, the secret Necron full of phylactery. Yep. That's how it is. That was literally Greyfax's opinion initially, but then she was like, oh, I hate having Celestine around. I love having Celestine around. Come here, Celestine. You need hugs. That was Greyfax's opinion. The book where Celestine, yes, what's it called? Is it called The Living Saint? It may be the book called The Living Saint. So every time that she dies, she has to go on this epic journey to get resurrected, where she fights like Nurgle demons and meets herself and meets like a child version of herself that just wants her to sit down and rest and play with her forever and be happy that she won't. Yes, it is kind of like Dark Souls, yeah. And also she has no memory when she's doing this. So she has to figure out who she is and what's happened and imagine being happy. Imagine being happy in the 41st millennium. That's the difficult bit. And she's got to find her armor again. And every time she finds a piece of her armor, she remembers dying in that horrific way. So that's fun. Yeah. But that's what she has to go through. So I can't imagine she'd be too pleased if she's chained to a floor and then just stabbed. And oh yeah, she doesn't come back in the same place. That's where that kind of falls apart. Okay, we can't just keep burning Celestine all the time. It's an idea, though. Yeah, she has to climb the pile of her own bones. Mm-hmm. And find the armor pieces as she goes. That's right. That's how it works. All the Gene Stealer cult lore is a direct rip-off of the Wizard of Oz. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion or just considered inaccurate. Who are the Lollipop Guild? Is the Nexus running the Lollipop Guild? It might be Guild. I can't remember from the song. Defend it, please. That's not an unpopular opinion at all. That is something that everyone knows is definitely true. Let's think about the Katan. which will temporarily put me away from the Wizard of Oz. I'll think about the Wizard of Oz. So the Katan, well, if you're not taking the Hypercrypt Legion detachment, they're not very scary. They're quite slow. Sure, they're tough, but they can't get around to where they need to be. Therefore, overcosted. Yep. They are also... I'm checking it. What was the other part? They were overpowered. Oh, yeah, just have their points reduced. You know, they should. It's one of the parts of the Necron army that we don't normally see on the tabletop. They had a little bit of play in like 6th edition, 7th edition, where you could have an upgrade on the Exalted Katan to do an electric slide through every tank and thing you have. When there were templates knocking around, then they could just flame the perfect shape of people. They've only got, is it half damage? Oh, it's half damage, isn't it? Not -1 damage. I think a lot of the damage things should be -1 damage rather than halving damage. Yeah, that would make them a lot more reasonable. They do have the invulnerable save, the feel no pain, and then damage halving. It means that my Shadow Sword goes to 6 damage when it should be on 12 damage. The Katan just aren't that special. Well, you got the Deceiver, you got the Nightbringer, you got the Void Dragon. They should probably all go down in points. That would encourage people to buy the older models more often. It would be good. You've been fighting Katan. I've just been fighting Custodes. Every time it's Custodes. They've suddenly come back into fashion now that their points are better, now that their rules are better, and they get their 4+ invulnerable save, 4+ feel no pain against devastating wounds as well as mortal wounds. So it's just been, okay, what are we facing today? Oops, all Custodes. More Custodes. I am beating them with Genestealer Cult, though. It's just a pain to be fighting the same kind of army over and over again. Oh, you committed everything to killing the Void Dragon, but it didn't work. Usually I just ignore them. But that's one way to do it. I was fighting a Warhound Titan yesterday. They just thought, oh yeah, I'm going to bring a Warhound Titan. Like, oh, fun! It was a much more fluffy and casual game at that point. But when your army is a Warhound Titan and about 10 Custodes, that's pretty good. That's a fun army to play against. Yeah. What's the MVP Genestealer Cult unit against Custodes? It's the Acolytes with demo charges. Although, if you can have the Neophytes, and they are working with a Ridge Runner, so if you look up my video on making Neophytes great, making the best chaff unit amazing, just having the -1 AP is enough to halve the effectiveness of the Custodes save. And you can get that from the ability to come from below, and you can get it from the Ridge Runner with Crossfire. So just having that 1 -1 is way more important than any of the other stuff. Otherwise, demo charges work pretty well, because I don't think they have anything that reduces damage by 1 outside of combat. I think it's just a combat-related stratagem. New Custodes Detachment Warhound Titans of Battle Line. Yep. Yeah. And Katana harder to ignore in smaller games. Yes. I don't think there's any way of figuring out why Games Workshop does points a certain way other than they want you to buy some kits, so they will reduce points on them, and the way that they figure out points isn't necessarily the same for every army. So you will get weird things where, like I've complained about in a video, Deathwatch cost way more for basically the same guy as they have a Black Templar guy. And it's weird. It's just that, oh yeah, people in the Deathwatch were taking that unit loads of times. How come the... Well, I'll just move to the middle. We never saw any torso. Doesn't matter. Yeah, why aren't the... What are the Black Templars? The Black Templars? Yeah, the Black Templars. They just get cheaper models because they want to sell more of them. Unpopular opinion, it may actually be correct that some units like Arcofladrons get a point increase because Games Workshop can't keep up production of them. That may be how it goes. I think they're doing pretty well on selling all their assassin models. The Coluxus Assassin? Oh, right. The -1 damage to fight and shooting phase. Yeah, so Neophytes are a better choice than Acolytes with demo charges for taking out Custodes. And when they have a character in the unit, then most of the units get like, oh yeah, it's -1 to wound rolls. Yeah, can't find a Calidus. Some people have been taking the Vindicare Assassins, because Vindicare Assassins were really popular at the start of the edition, and just saying, it's a Calidus Assassin. Just finished paying the infantry from the 6 combat patrol boxes. You bought 6 combat patrol boxes? That's a lot of combat patrol boxes. Yes, use the Admech Tallboy as Vindicare. Yeah. It's never stocked in stores, it's never stocked online. Some of the things are online only. It's pain. Yeah, it's a pain. So many things that we want that we can't get. And it's like, oh yes, I see all the meta choices are not available. So Games Workshop picking points and having the points relative to what they want to sell does evidently work as a special way of selling models. Yes, I've decided to have glasses today. I have the asset. I'm going to use it. How about I give you some stuff? Let's gift some memberships. Let's gift 5 memberships. Have some memberships. I think if, there we go. If you click the little box of the present box, then you get the membership.
Randomen became a member of von Carmian's Legion.
Yay! So now you can have a thing. So now
Chicken on a Raft became a member of von Carmian's
I don't know if it's actually playing this. It might be playing the noise. Yeah, it seems to be playing the noise. Ooh.
Overboard became a member of von Carmian's Legion.
Wonderful. So now you can have your name at the end of videos. I will just have to update that. It won't work for the video that I've got coming out later today about Deathwatch. So that's already announced. And is this thing for later 8 hours from now? 9 hours from now? Something like that. But you'll get your names at the end of videos, and then if you want to have that continue for more than just the 1 month this lasts, then you'll have to renew the payment thing on YouTube yourself. But YouTube is not playing happy today. I should also have background music through YouTube, but it is not working. Nope. That's not meant to be them. That one. Not that one. That one. There we go. That's not insanely sounding music. There. Oh, YouTube. Oh, you try me sometimes. Wonderful. Happy Crumping Wargaming. You can't even buy the Demon Host. A lot of people have mentioned the Demon Host. It's not in the box. So I don't know what they're going to do with that in future. It's just, yeah, can't buy a Demon Host. Playing on Tabletop Simulator is better than waiting 12 years for get models in stock. That may be possible. That may be something that people generally agree on, though. The big thing about Tabletop Simulator that I don't like, though I will defend it in a second, is it takes ages to play. Such an annoying thing where it's like, okay, we're just going to do a 1,000 point game and it takes 4 hours because you got to, oh no, I moved too many models. Oh, I moved them slightly the wrong way. Oh, they clipped on something and it didn't work. Oh, I didn't really realize that we're having vertical distances as well. We've got to figure that out. Are they on the bottom or top? Where's all my models gone? I'll roll some dice. Oh, need to get the dice asset working. Yeah, it's better if you want to try something out. If you want to have just, oh, here's a nice, beautiful battlefield that I couldn't possibly make in my own games, you can then have it on Tabletop Simulator. Tabletop Simulator is a game that's available through Steam, so you can get it there. And you can be like, okay, I don't have this army. I want to try out how this army plays and roll the dice appropriately. That can work. And then you could use, if you have a second screen, you could have the rules on the second screen. So you're looking to that. And then you also need to have Discord working, and you also need to have a friend that may be able to get out. I mean, if someone can't leave the house because they are criminal or very ill, then you can play with them that way. You can play Tabletop Simulator with people there. Yeah. You're thinking about getting another Genestealer Cult Combat Patrol there. Combat Patrol before they change it? That's not a bad idea. I'm thinking I may do a video on the Combat Patrol for the Genestealer Cult and the Battle Sisters. And maybe Deathwatch as well. I think I can do 3. I might be able to do 3. Ooh, a gifted membership.
Stefan W. became a member of Von Carmian's Legion.
Thank you for gifting that. That's very nice of you. So, again, if you want that to continue, you'll have to renew it yourself. Otherwise, I'll just be doing a live stream so often that I'm just throwing out gifts to you all. And buying people memberships of my channel is maybe not the best idea for growth. But never mind. Never mind. I still haven't figured out the Wizard of Oz as a Genestealer cult. The Tin Men are acolytes? No, aberrants? Who's the Cowardly Lion? No one's a coward in the Genestealer cult. That's not allowed. How's the audio now? We have music. The music is working. Yeah, that's good. We're just getting no chat through. Why are we getting no chat through? It's even disappeared on my regular screen. I'll see if I can figure out, because I want to see what you're saying, because the bit that you're saying is the important bit. Okay, okay. I have a version of chat available now. Overboard, thank you. That's nice of you to pay it forward. Very good of you. But on Tabletop Simulator, they can't see my Palatine with Paragon Sword. Well, if you have a really nice model, that's the bad thing about Tabletop Simulator. You can't show off your really nice models, which is a shame. There is so much buffering going on. It's almost like YouTube just does not like that I exist at the moment. It's like, you don't normally stream at this time. What are you doing? Ah, we cannot cope. Tabletop Simulator is also way less expensive than literally everything. I think it's about £15, which is the equivalent to 2/3 of one character model. Yeah. Dorothy is the Magos, obviously. Oh, I was thinking Dorothy might be the Patriarch, who's like, oh, we're not on previous planet anymore. So Toto is a Genestealer. Oh, that's so much better. Cowardly Lion, the Dark Angel's Primarch. Yeah, no one can afford $60 for a single walker. Ooh, there's an unpopular opinion. The new Games Workshop site is better. Well, I have figured out how to use the site. It just took a while. There's a hidden bar. So if anything, it's a skill issue to not be able to use the website properly. There's a hidden bar where you can see the armies, which are separated as Space Marines, Imperium, Xenos, and Chaos. Subdivided there. Otherwise, there's a big search bar in the top right where you can search the unit. So that's how I use it. It's just unit, go there, figure it all out. Because then they do have, oh yeah, here's all the sprues and all of the images, and it's much easier to see. And then they have fancy text at the bottom. So if you're a new player, it may actually be a good thing to just be able to go there and see, ah, this is how I do the get starting. The painting, the learning, the playing, what a dice is. It's gonna work. There's a lot of comedians in chat. There always is. I seem to attract a certain group of people who are like just super funny. They're so funny. Gene Stealer's lore is more Lovecraftian than anything Tzeentch has ever done. I think that's just accurate. Although the Gene Stealer cult lore is more alien film than anything else. Weird god that's coming. We don't know the size of the Tyranid fleet. It could just be a massive set of jaws about to nom the galaxy in half. And this is like the Hive Fleet's just its tongue as it's licking us first. Mm-hmm. Tzeentch is the least powerful chaos god by a lot. Maybe. He can't be right all of the time. His schemes have to fail so often that it becomes a joke. So that's probably how it works. I think that's just correct. I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion. Or is Slaanesh meant to be the weakest? Supposedly Slaanesh is meant to be the weakest. It depends if we're talking Age of Sigmar or 40k. Age of Sigmar, Slaanesh is in a prison because of elves. So that's definitely the weakest god. But if we're talking 40k, then Tzeentch is like, oh, I'm going to do machinations and scheming and plans, and Khorne just punches them. Or Slaanesh just ignores them. Or does their own machinations that seem to work way better with infiltrating cults. And then there's another god, Nurgle, who's just, oh yeah, every plague everywhere. The Plague of Unbelief, that was me. Plague of Zombies, that was me. That was fun in the Eye of Terror campaign where it's like, hey, suddenly zombies. Slaanesh enjoys prison. Maybe. Maybe. What's the road as unpopular opinion? The new Space Marine Combat Patrol is good. Now, is that going to be the one with the Infernus Marines, the Terminators, and the two Terminator Captain? The Terminator Captain and the Terminator Librarian? Or is it the one that's all infiltrators? Because they do have an even newer one that's got 3 guys with the accelerator autocannons, a bunch of infiltrator people, and a lieutenant with the Phobos armor to infiltrate. Nurgle is, if anything, spreading the best life. Strongest Chaos God is the Emperor. Perhaps. Perhaps. A popular opinion from Zephyr. Games Workshop should just list all the war gear they include in the kit so we don't need to stare at the sprue. Yeah. That is a popular opinion. Yeah. The Neophyte kit needs more war gear. Well, maybe stat-wise we need some shotguns compared to autoguns. That might be an idea. Combat Patrol boxes are literally for the game mode now. Yes, but they also make decent start collecting kind of boxes after they got rid of the start collecting boxes. That is one of the things I was going to complain about. When the Battle Sisters and the Genestealer Cult Codex come out, I hope we don't get anything new. Like, no new units, because if we get that, then we'll have a really big box, like the Deathwing Assault box, and that'll be the only way to get the Codex for like 2 months. And if I want to talk about it, if I want to be the Genestealer Cult, the Battle Sister person, I would have to buy that. And I don't want to have to buy that. Yeah, every faction is going to get at least 1 unit, so it may just be a character. Let's not make it a full revamp of like 3 or 4 units. Considering the age of the sculpts, I think they're okay with the Battle Sisters. Genestealer Cult probably also okay. I mean, Genestealer Cult are going to get 1 new character. That'll just be it. Or a slight variation to a Ridge Runner. But it'll come in an entirely different box set. Yes. So I'm not looking forward to that as a possibility. But we'll have to see what happens. Welcome, Alexander. Thank you for subscribing. Where was I in the list? Combat Trolls. The Sororitas have ugly face sculpts. I mean, the faces are not too bad. Some of them are meant to look ugly, like they've got scars and bits of the face missing and the lip and the chin reconstruction. That's all pretty cool. I like that they are kind of ugly. The models themselves, it's an unpopular opinion, but I don't like the regular Battle Sister models. They come in far too many pieces. Like, oh great, well, let's have 7 or 8 pieces for 1 Battle Sister, and they've all got really small contact points, and it's just a pain. Just a pain to build. If you can get through a sister's army, because remember, You have to believe in horde armies. You're playing one. That's how the Battle Sisters are now. And we do indeed need a Baneblade hull to carry a giant melter, possibly being able to switch it out with a heavy flamer. Or a massive bolter thing. Just a cannon like that. Yeah. Games Workshop probably would put, here's your new codex, here's your one character, and also 5 other units that you've already got. Together in a box. Conspiracy theory, the Gene Stealer cult will get a Tyranid. Yeah. You know, I had a pleasant dream where Games Workshop lost like a warehouse and they could only produce half as many units as before. And I was just thinking, oh, you could get rid of so many pointless units from so many factions. Like, almost all of the Custodes faction could disappear apart from one Custodes unit. And then it becomes an agent of the Imperium again. That's an unpopular opinion, considering the number of Custodes players we see around these days. They've all just crawled out the woodwork after disappearing for 4 months. But having Custodes back as just an agent of the Imperium, supporting people, that would be better. I would like that. It would be thermal cannon. Yeah, big things, yes. Oh, right, if the knights are carrying Rust-grade weapons, where's the demo cannon knight and the thermal cannon Rust? Well, that's because it's a pain to make kits. That's probably the only reason. Oh, yeah, Ironclad for the Battle Sisters. Having legs in 4 parts, it's so annoying. Like, I see I have one leg, I have another leg. Oh, wait, the hip comes separate. Oh, as does part of the thigh and the front of the tabard. It's a pain. It's a pain. I hope when the Gene Stealer cult get a new unit, it's not just another character. That would be nice, yes. Every faction should have a push-fit mini-set like we used to have. A lot of the factions do, if you count all the Space Marine factions. There is still the monopose Gene Stealer cult stuff from Kill Team over Kill Hyperdeath, Deathwatch Kill Team over the box, the big box that has Kill Team Cassius in it. Overkill. I think it's just called Overkill. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, Gene Stealer cult should probably get a specific detachment where they can take knit allies. I mean, that would be nice. I don't see it happening, though. I think we'll end up with 5 detachments, each representing a cult of sorts, having a vehicle playstyle, a horde of infantry playstyle, which we sort of already have. Yeah, maybe the Pauper Princes will, like, disappear as a sort of cult, because the main faction one, the one that always likes to come up from below, the one that has everything perfectly planned, the main cult. There's so few cults, and they have so little information about them that differentiates them from the others that it doesn't really matter. Yes. And because of Crew, Tower New are the new auxiliaries. Tower auxiliaries in their own faction. Yeah. The Custodes army is 4 boxes. Yeah, and it probably should just be 1 box. Hoot will have more units than Votan soon. I can see that happening. Votan aren't yet announced when they're going to get a codex. So that could be... They get more units then. They should have a jump pack unit, because we've seen that in Kill Team. Should. Not necessarily will, but should. Do we even have enough unit varieties to have more than like 2 detachments? Well, not really, but I think we'll manage. We can have the Twisted Helix, which is going to be focusing more on the Metamorphs and the Aberrants. We can have the Rusted Claw, which focuses more on the bikes and the vehicles. We could have the Hive Cult, which focuses more on allies. That could be our, yay, we get better or improved, or something happens with the Brood Brothers. That could be nice. Then we'll see every single Astra Militarum player being like, I am Gene Stealer cult player now because of how the rules work in a weird way. That's where, yeah, I'm a Gene Stealer cult player and I just have so many battle tanks that work better in the Hive cult than they do in the not yet happening Astra Militarum Codex, Imperial Guard. It's the Imperial Guard Codex. Votan doesn't have enough unit variety to have detachments. You're probably right. Each different unit gets a buff depending on the 5 detachments. So one is for the Land Fortress, one is for the Sagittor, one is for the regular dudes, which I guess is the current one they have. Then there's one for the guys on stilts, but not AdMech stilts. And we have one for the not Terminators. Oh, what's wrong, babe? You've hardly twisted your helix. Interesting. Okay, I will use some of the ones that I had pre-prepped. I just slide to the left. That's a bit high now. There we go. And it's not on the right spot, but it'll do. So there's an unpopular opinion. Oh yeah, Genestealer culture definitely... They don't need access to the termite drill thing, though. It would be nice, but considering every unit can just tunnel up from underground anyway and is assumed to be using something like that, that's where I don't think it's necessary. It would be thematic, but pointless. In-game, it would be pointless. The Canoptic Reanimated doesn't come in its own box? I thought it did. I thought there was a whole massive cannon thing. Yeah, where's the Death Guard Forge Fiend? Who knows? They just pull the rules out of different units. Right. So the Tyranids having no law is a good thing. I mean, people seem to be agreeing with that. Yeah. Okay, yeah. It's nice to have an army that's a very good... They're probably the better introduction army than Space Marines or Tau at one point were a good introduction army. Who else have we had as an introduction army? The Votan, when the Votan came back, was like, yeah, easy little dwarf men. They do rock and stone. They do mining. We love the little miners. Nope, that's a line that gets taken out of context. Forget that. I never said that. I hate the miners. No, that's another line that can be taken out of context. Never mind. Never mind. Oh, the Doomstalker. Canoptic Reanimator, Canoptic Doomstalker. Oh, there's 2 different sets. So weird. Hello from Germany. End time heresy. Anyway, Tyranid is a pretty good introduction faction because if you know vague sci-fi stuff, you don't need to know about the politics of the world. You don't need to know about what's happening with chaos. You don't need to know about how the Tau exists or the Necrons coming back. You just eat things. You fight everyone all the time, all over the place, and you eat them. And you keep going. And that's it. You would like a little bit more lore on the Tyranids? They have tiny bits of lore, like Hive Fleet Tiamat is building something. Ooh, what is it? We don't know. It's never going to go anywhere. Yeah, don't give the Hive Mind a personality. Don't give it thoughts and feelings like they did with the Necrons in like 5th edition. And they went from this really cool automaton that's creepy and just needs to eliminate all life into dudes having politics and fighting. And it's like, ah, you touch my throne world. Throne world. Something like that. Hello, Philippines. Hello, all of the Philippines. Yes. The Tyranids may get more lore than Ynnari. The Ynnari lore stopped at 7th edition. End of 7th edition, they turned up and they're like, right, that's them done. Then there's been nothing more for, like, Eldar faction since. Is there going to be another disjunction in the Dark Realm? Is Comrag going to get demons coming through a portal? Who's to say? Yeah, there's no reason for the Tyranids to hate Blood Angels specifically. Nothing else. If they want a personality, it's called Genestealer Cult. And then they can be like, we do it for family. Just, that's a meme I need to make. When the Genestealer Cult stuff comes out and we get Ridge Runners, you'll have to remind me to make a joke about how driving in the detachment that has Ridge Runners and stuff is about family. We do this for the family. And it's like all those films where they have the cars and the guy talks about family every second line because he has no personality. Yeah. The Shield of Baal campaign was pretty good. I liked a lot of the campaign books they had where stuff happened. I plan to do a video on the Crusade book, Pariah Nexus. I'm actually getting myself into it. You'll see that it comes up in the video later today, tomorrow, in 6, 7, 9 hours. In about 9 hours, there'll be a video with Deathwatch, all about the Deathwatch. Mainly come and enjoy the exploits, but also the Crusade book comes in there. Yes. The Tyranids need the big ooze soup terrain. Yeah, the digestion pools. Don't know what it'd do. It would be good in the Harvester Swarm. Just give it the Harvester Swarm detachment rule. Whatever that is. And then that can get bonuses, maybe. Yeah. Each model can have a crate of Krona. Oh, dear. Oh. I love it. I love it. Okay, I mean, I think apparently this is not as bad an opinion as we thought. Everyone seems to agree that the Tyranids having no real law is just a good thing. Great. Let's see if this actually scrolls to the next one. There we go. It did indeed work. You want some personality to the Hive Fleets? Oh yeah, one specializes in hit and run, one does throw everything at it, one does monsters. Yeah, that works. Are there any that do hit and run? I mean, Leviathan is like intelligent adaptation. Behemoth is just throw monsters at it. Jormungandr was do tunneling. I just think of the three main ones. Kraken, what was Kraken's special ability? They loved... I don't know what they loved. Kraken does the hit and run, right. That makes sense. There's a thing that I don't know what it does and a thing that's hit and run that I don't know the name of the Hive Fleet. It turns out they go together. Yeah. Serious question, what is a Primaris? So, is this something you generally want me to explain, or is it just lol Primaris? I'll assume it's a genuine explanation. So, from 8th edition, Games Workshop redesigned the Space Marine to try and get people to rebuy the Space Marines. So they invented a Primaris Space Marine, which is where they have more organs unnecessarily. They have the newer kinds of armor. They have... Is music too loud or is it okay? Oh, that's pretty fine. Yeah. They have more organs. They have the new armor. They have gotten rid of the classic Mark 7 beaky face. Yeah. This is not confusing for everyone. Yeah, some of the Space Marines, so the idea was they still had legacy kits like a Space Marine Captain. So you could buy a Space Marine Captain for a while, and then they released a Primaris Captain to go with the Primaris units. So that became a different one. So the Captain, Space Marine Captain, is going to be in Mark 7 armor, which is the classic armor, the one we're familiar with, but not beaky. That's Mark 6. And then we had the Primaris version. So it's, yes, it was initially a power creep. So in 8th edition, that's when the Primaris Marines got 2 wounds. Regular Space Marines did not. They still had 1. Chaos Marines still just had 1. And then it was in 9th edition, gradually, well, initially for the Space Marines because they get their codex first, all of them had 2 wounds, and then the Chaos Marines slowly got 2 wounds as well. Yeah, so it was a bit of power creep, a bit of making everyone rebuy all of their models. Belial got a new model, but he's not Primaris in the law. Well, that's because Belial, if I'm correct, is the one in Terminator armor. And Terminator armor is compatible with both, so there's no reason to say, okay, we need to actually make a decision on whether Firstborn models can wear the Primaris style of armor. I think they can, but Games Workshop has never done an official, yes, anyone can wear any kind of armor. So they haven't had a Mark 10 guy, because they've said that the Terminator armor is for Primaris Marines or for Firstborn Marines. It's for anyone. So this, where the Gravis armor, just gonna correct that, was always intended to be the Primaris successor to Terminator armor. Yes, they yeah, they are just needlessly convoluted. It's not even a bad opinion. Rhinos should hold Primaris Marines. There was a whole thing at the start of the edition of like, yeah, you can share transports, you can mix it up. And I was like, okay, I'm going to put 5 Assault Marines without jump packs in a Rhino, along with 5 Assault Intercessors. Great, let's go. But no, Rhinos are like, yeah, firstborn only. Mm-hmm. Yes, otherwise Land Raiders, you can fit them in Land Raiders, but Land Raiders are sold out online. Mm-hmm. There are quite a few variations of Chaos Marines once you get into the Horus Heresy stuff. Yeah. Games Workshop wants you to buy the new vehicles. That's why. The rules are there to stop them. So what you can do is just say, okay, these Assault Intercessors, they're just Assault Marines on foot, and use the Legend rules. They're pretty good. When you charge, you get to pick one of the benefits. So you can either have sustained hits, or lethal hits, or lance. All good. Mm-hmm. So I think they're better than Assault Intercessors. But that's been kind of the way for quite a few things, in my opinion. Charging in this economy. Yes, you have to charge. Okay, to prove my point, I'm just going to move that up to there. There. There's the thumbnail. We're familiar with the thumbnail. You may have clicked on this thumbnail. Where, okay, so we have, yeah, nothing is confusing in Battle Sisters. It's just Rhinos holding 12, which is kind of standard now, and that includes Junith. I just imagine Junith being pulled behind, like a tugboat. Yep. The Combat Patrol Rhino cannot carry the Triumph of St. Catherine, because the Triumph of St. Catherine can't go in the Rhino. It can't go in Combat Patrol. That's why. That's the exception. So, it's not that weird. Mm-hmm. I know it doesn't say in the rules that it can't, but since you can't have a Triumph of since you can't have St. Catherine's Triumph in the Combat Patrol games, doesn't count. Battle Sisters don't have Gravis Armor yet. Well, they've got the Nundums. You are a Gravis Armor fangirl. Cool. Yes, that's my point. Yes. I get it, Wen Bintan. I get it. I get it. Do you think that if Belial did undergo the Primaris ritual, he'd be put in Gravis Armor? Probably. Probably end up being so. Because Manius Calgar got Primarisized and is considered in Gravis Armor. I mean, his armor was always kind of weird, where it looks like this Boltstorm Gauntlet thing. Phobos Armored Sisters wearing, well, we have Novitiates, so that's probably as close as we're going to get. We have even weaker Novitiate armor. We don't need tactical armor with weird thighs hugging armor just to make a 10th scout company. Yes. But this is my point with the Gravis armor. We have, here's a Terminator with a Cyclone missile launcher and a Stormbolter with two barrels on the Stormbolter. Ah, thank you, Gorbez. Thank you very much. For anyone else that wants to give the monies, and thank you for doing it through YouTube, that is entirely an option. There is a link in the description for Ko-fi. It also has a stream element, but I would go with the Ko-fi one. Ko-fi is a link, and then that'll fill up the bar at the top, and it'll pop up at the bottom. But thank you very much for the monies. Thank you, thank you. Infiltrate is a normal company battle line. They aren't scout company. I thought they were part of the 10th company. The whole idea was they were not scouts, but a functional part of the 10th company. I thought it was that. I'm sure when I've seen them show off, we can have everything where you get all of the companies. Here's like the entire Ultramarines chapter. Here's what it looks like. And they were showing off Phobos Marines in the 10th company. Should I start with painting 2 Battle Sisters combat patrols? I would only get 1 Battle Sister combat patrol. I would not get 2. No. Because they're all weird and monopose and bad. So I have a video on how to start with Battle Sisters. So it can start with a combat patrol if you wish. Yes, new sisters coming in summer. So we don't know when in summer, just sometime. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I would just have the one combat patrol and then build from that. Like getting some actual Zephyrim or Seraphim, and then you can have the monopose Seraphim from the combat patrol with actual weapons. Okay, this thing I meant to talk about. The Gravis armor and the Terminator armor. Cyclone missile launcher. Stone bolter. It has 2 barrels and a power fist. And here we have a Gravis Marine with a missile launcher and 2 guns. So 2 barrels and power fists. It very much looked like they were meant to be successors. A replacement to the Terminators. Yeah. And I think that's how it was always intended. As a, yep, this is the new Terminator models. And then they realized people really like the Terminators. There was so much pushback. Some of it was just, meh, meh, you're not giving me new Firstborn models. But then a lot of people bought the Primaris stuff, and Games Workshop just sat back and was like, I'll ignore all of the online stuff. All of that griping. Yeah, I think the Terminators are too iconic. In the lore, is their purpose similar? Pretty much. But they come in units of 3 rather than units of 5. They do essentially the same thing. I will pull up the full lore for them. It's Imperials, Space Marine. Okay, if I search Terminators. Terminators. Devastating close combat attacks. They shred the enemy. Aggressors. Devastating offensive close combat attacks. They blunt enemy assaults. Yeah, they excel in close combat. It's the same thing. They do exactly the same thing. You think Gravis armor is oh, that's your unpopular opinion. Gravis armor is cooler than Terminator armor. Yeah. There are no teleport systems in Gravis armor, yes. So Gravis armor is your front line blunt and assault attack. Terminators are your rapid strike enemy lines attack. No idea why Gravis is toughness 6 and Terminators are only toughness 5? That is so that they can pretend that they are different. So Gravis gets an extra toughness, but only a 3+ save. The Terminators have toughness 5 and a 2+ save. That's why. Gravis armor was kind of weaker Terminator armor that doesn't teleport and is less flexible, so reduces mobility. I guess that's how it is. That works. I haven't looked through the Space Marine Codex to look at all the lore stuff because I'm less interested in that and the restcon stuff all the time. I just cannot keep up. I think for Firstborn units, come, I guess, 11th edition, they'll keep the Terminators, they'll keep the Scouts, and they'll keep the Tactical Squad, but just the Tactical Squad. I think that the Devastator Squad will disappear. I think Rhinos and Razorbacks will also disappear. And then the Rhino will be just for 30k or Chaos Space Marines only. Yeah, stuff like this is what makes me not play Marines. No, keep the Tactical Squad. Tactical Squad is iconic. Tactical Squad is good. Tactical Squad has been the backbone of the 41st millennium for, well, yeah, 10,000 years. Grey Knights will keep the Rhino and the Razorback. There you go. You can sell your Rhinos and Razorback to them. No, don't make the Tactical Squad go to Legends. That's awful. I mean, just make the Rhino usable would be nice, yes. The Tactical Squad's not iconic anymore? What are all these new players saying? Look at all these filthy casuals who come in who've only been playing for 4 years instead of 30. 2 boarding patrol boxes. That's a pretty good start, yes. Stop it! Stop being mean! Stop saying the Tactical Squad is going away. Oh, I know. Not all of you are immortal vampires. I know. It's life issue. Yeah. Tactical Squad is still in Kill Team. I mean, Kill Team would be not a bad place for it. They're in the Compendium. And that's when they have 10 or 11 models. I think it's 10 models. Actually, no, I think it's like 6. I was trying to figure out the Kill Team stuff because I couldn't quite understand. The Space Marine Legacy Kill Teams are like, you get 5 models and you can take an additional warrior. And I didn't know whether that meant you can swap out the specialisms of one of the guys to be generic warrior, or you also then get a 6th model. So that made no sense to me. If someone knows how the kill team game works without just putting the words triangle, circle, triangle, square, square, triangle. Yeah. Oh, Guy has been playing for 30 years. Nice. Good to find me. I'm glad we found one another. In the virtual sense. In the people watching my channel sense. Yes. Oh yeah, this is where I should also do some, I guess, announcements. I could leave it to the end. It's a minor announcement. When I've done this week, which I was not sure whether to do a Death Watch week or something. Oh, you start with Rogue Trader. Yeah, that's an old one. Stop mentioning Celestians. You know, if another person sends me the image of Megamind looking at the lens with the words, "No Celestians," I am going to ban them. That is how you get banned in the Discord. Just, "No Celestians." I talk about Celestians so often, they better bring back my Celestians with guns. Ooh. Yeah. A tactical squad? There's no tactical squads, only Deathwatch kill teams. See, I've interrupted my announcement. It doesn't matter, I'll come back to it. You're the reason I chose Assist as an army? Well, that's... Oh no, I'm making money for Games Workshop. This is the worst thing. Why has this happened? Thank you, Wenbintan, for the monies. Can still buy them. Celestians are the opposite of other models. Yeah. 1,000 points in. Maybe stop there. That's where I'm thinking, yeah, you know, if you only got the one army, sure, you can build it up to 2,000 points-ish. But I'm finding I have too many armies. And being able to say, I'm stopping at 1,000 points is like a power move. Take that, Games Workshop. I'm not buying any more of your stuff. Yeah. Gravis armor is more durable than power armor, but less than Terminator armor. Well, that's where you also get the heavy intercessors, which should seem to be just a thrown extra thing. Primaris Centurions when? I don't think they'll do Centurions anymore. I think Gravis Marines are a more sensible way of doing Centurions. Because the Centurions are a Space Marine inside a Space Marine armor, inside Space Marine armor. So that's a whole thing. Yeah. So, oh, right. Oh, sure, Valoran. Sure. You want to get rid of tactical squads, but you want to keep Centurions? Crazy. You're a crazy lady. We got Primaris Terminators. Oh, no. Pro-Roost Unpopular Opinion. Make a demon-style Inquisition mega faction with Sisters, Grey Knights, Assassins. Ooh, I think they'll probably just stick with the Assassins and Inquisition agents and spread them out. Soup was maybe a mistake for 8th edition. It was kind of fun. Then they had to add in rules for 9th edition where it's like, oh, you want to get your army special rule if you actually have everything from all one faction. Yeah. Tactical squads are good. Tactical squads have a plasma gun, a missile launcher. Tactical squads are a veteran, right? Forget anything I said before. I'm going to do a Deathwatch lore video where I talk about the Primaris Marines. And why tactical Marines are so much better. It's going to happen just to spite you. That'll be the video I have on Friday. Maybe I'll do a combat patrol thing as well. We'll have to see. It's Wednesday today. I have some days. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to take this off the screen now because this is not relevant to what I'm talking about. But they're the same. We can accept that they're the same. You can come down. We need to strap a Centurion to the Grey Knight baby carrot. Yes, that is the way you put a Space Marine inside a Space Marine inside. No, you put them then inside a Dreadnought. Have it Dreadnought armor, not tactical Dreadnought armor, just a bonus thing. And then you put that on the Grey Knight baby carrier. That's how you do it, Zerota. Yeah. Centurions sure are unique. Oh, yep, that's a thing. Primaris Repulsor Executioner? I mean, I can see that happening. Can you split the tactical squad? The tactical squad's special rule in the Space Marine Codex is that they can split themselves into 2 squads of 5. So that's it, yes. If a squad can't have a plasma gun, then get out. Oh, what's a plasma gun? Asking as a Battle Sister player. Well, you know how there's a plasma pistol for the Sister Superior, which you totally forgot exists? It's just a gun version of that. Imagine a bolt pistol, like the plasma pistol. You get the bolt gun off the bolt pistol. You get a plasma gun off the plasma pistol. There you go. That's how I explained it. But we shouldn't have plasma as Battle Sisters. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion, but there we go. Tactical squads are good. Tactical squads are about the only unit that should survive all of 40k. All of the editions. Because in 30k, they can't have mixed weaponry, if I'm remembering correctly. It's all just bolt guns. And then you have a separate squad that's all the heavy weapons. Yeah. The Palatine can have a bolt pistol. I have my Palatine with a bolt pistol because it looked nicer and I don't like plasma. We have to do the Holy Trinity. Otherwise it's not proper. I have more unpopular opinions than I thought. I thought, oh yeah, my community will agree with me. It'll all be fine. And I'm just saying things like, I like tactical squads. And you go, no, it's so weird. What intercessors are? Daniel's right. All the bolters, flamers, and melters. Nothing else. Nothing else. Yeah. Give it a couple of editions and we'll have Primaris and Gravis, Ultra Gravis, Super Gravis, Hyper Sentinels. Yep. I don't know if there is static. There is background music. But there shouldn't be static anymore. It's not coming through, at least on the tracker of my sounds. So it maybe is happening. Bad static when I talk. Oh no. Bad static when I talk. Oh no. I'm not getting it through anymore. If it stops happening, then that'd be good. I'm not getting it through anymore. Okay. It doesn't seem as bad. It doesn't seem as bad. Yes. Have the Tau tried negotiating with Genestealer Cult? It's... well, they've probably not. I think they had a Genestealer Cult infestation, which they did deliberately just to see what would happen. So they have done a sort of cultural exchange, and then they found a cure for Genestealer Cult, which is crazy. They use like a CRISPR gene to be able to go to someone and cut out all of the alien DNA. Yeah, that was awkward. It's like stops the Genestealer Cult existing. I think it's my very first Genestealer Cult lore and rules video. Yeah. That one explains it, that it exists, which is weird. Good, there's no more static. We need more Genestealer Cult characters. That's the unpopular opinion. Yes. I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion, but should Genestealer Cult be allowed to take Tyranids as allies? Well, maybe they shouldn't. But it's an unpopular opinion. I mean, no, people like it. People like the idea. It sort of fits. You could have something like a Lictor, that'd be thematic. You could have, what's their Broodlord called? Oh, it's called the Broodlord, yes, not a Patriarch, a Broodlord. Yeah, so that can work. Ah, if only they made tactical squads bigger with less weapon options. No. No. We need the Genestealer Cult limo to exist. Because it was never an official model with official rules. It was just something that someone made for fun because it looked cool. And then fans took it on for like the editions between 3rd and 7th. To say, yeah, we can have cult limos, but as a cool fan thing, not as an official model. Well, that'd be good. Genestealer Cult in parasocial relationship with the Nids. Yeah, yeah. Ah, worshipping Old One Eye. That's okay. Yeah, it's not an unpopular opinion then that we should have Genestealers with Tyranids. It would probably be an unpopular opinion to say I don't think they should go together because they should be then consuming one another. Unless you're representing the time when the High Fleet actually invades, then the Genestealer cult support the Tyranids until the end. And then it changes. Is there a Valor in the Lost fan club? No, stop stealing my subscribers. Behave. Stop having wrong opinions and then people are agreeing with you. This is the worst. This is how I get cancelled. This is how I disappear. Someone just comes in and be like, oh, hey, I have all these opinions that are really not based. The opposite of based. Cringe. That's what people say. Incorrect. Let's do another one. Okay. Old 1-X Primarch. Yes. Can this go down a little bit more? Just a little bit. Slaanesh models should be more varied than just the pain and pleasure that we see. Well, we have in Age of Sigmar gluttony. There's a big fat man on a big fat carriage eating lots of big fat meals, and he likes to eat stuff. So he exists. We have vanity from Sigvald, so if we're thinking Age of Sigmar, then we definitely have a lot more things than the pain, pleasure stuff. It's not just about hurting people. It's not the S&M stuff. At least in Age of Sigmar. They've done a really good idea with the revamping of Age of Sigmar Slaanesh so that it fits more than just pain. Yes. Egalitarian mutant superhuman anti-psychers. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Age of Sigmar does have some pretty cool models. And they're quite nice centerpieces, so they work. Yeah. Okay, people like the Age of Sigmar models. This is something I've found now that Warhammer Fantasy battles on square bases is kind of back. The same problems are still there. If you want to start Warhammer Fantasy battles, then you need to have hundreds of models for like a 1,000-point game. Well, let's think 20... Yeah, at least 50. Yes. Hopefully when we get a Slaanesh revamp for 40k, we should see more variety. That would be nice, Odin Demon. That would be really nice. Didn't know you were featured in the 8th Slaanesh Age of Sigmar army. Well, there's also Vanity. Sigvald and Vanity. I must say, I look rather beautiful. So, thank you. Thank you. If I do say so myself. Oh, me. Oh, I'm quite wonderful. So we have a few things there. Age of Sigmar does that well. But yeah, the Warhammer Fantasy Battle stuff, we're seeing the same problems. We're seeing it takes a lot of models to get into it. You can't find players. Even with the whole thing of like, oh, everyone's going to get into Warhammer Fantasy, and we're still finding that there's more people playing 40k, 30k, Age of Sigmar, and Middle-earth strategy battle game at my club than there are people playing Warhammer Fantasy. Even when all of us have a Warhammer Fantasy army. Play Daughters of Cain in Age of Sigmar. They have okay models. Not many units, but yes. It's 1:40 AM. See, yeah, I'm streaming at a totally different time, like 10 hours different to normal. Oh, how do you send money to the Valor and the Lost fan club? Oh, I think it might be possibly a Ko-fi link that's /von Carmian. That may be where it is. Yeah, the Ko-fi link that says Von Carmian VTuber, that may be getting money to Valorant. I don't know. You'd have to try it. We'd have to see. Ko-fi link in the description. Yep, that's the only way that Valorant and the Lost fan club will grow. That's right. It's a terrible fan club. I'm just going to have to start banning people. Is Valorant the Lost in the Discord? I need to ban them quickly. Otherwise, I'm going to lose all my people. Yes. So hopefully, indeed, Slaanesh will get more models in the new 40k stuff when they do Emperor's Children. But then they're still having demons separate to the Chaos Space Marines. I kind of like how Age of Sigmar has it, where the 4 gods are different armies. Mixing in the demons, a little bit of beastmen, and the warriors of chaos. So it's god specific. That works. Yes. Yeah. cacophony. Yes, just having heavy weapon dudes. That'd be a good idea. Wenbintan! You behave, Wenbintan! You know what you're doing.
Zerota just tipped 10 moonies.
Ooh, thank you for the 10 moonies. I do love the moonies. It means money. It's a funny thing. He's being funny. Laugh. This updating correctly? It is updating correctly. Wonderful. Wonderful. Good. So now there's a Valoran the Lost fan club, but I get the money and I'm not giving any to Valoran. Thank you for that. Right. My controversial opinion is I can't wait for new Lucius models. Perhaps. Yeah, they should do a new one. There should be a new Lucius model, possibly a Fulgrim model. We don't know. We don't know if there will be a new Fulgrim model for 40k or any rules. It's a possibility. There should be some cacophony heavy weapons dudes, and a revamp of the regular ones.
Tip 3 unpopular opinion. Scatter dice should come back along with flamer templates.
Ooh, that's a good opinion. Yeah. Oh, Fabulous Bill. Fabulous Bill could go with them, possibly. It could bring back the Doom Rider. We do indeed need the Doom Rider. Yes, okay. Unpopular opinion that I kind of like. Scatter dice should come back along with flamer templates. Having templates was fun. Having templates made the blast weapons feel like blast weapons. Having the flamers made them feel like flamers, and you're not just multi-burning one person. It's the same gout of flame hitting everyone. Oh yeah, not if the scatter dice and templates are overpriced, but if they were in all of the starter boxes, and if you buy like the Deathwing Assault box, you get some templates and scatter dice. That'd be good. I mean, it would mean that you couldn't have competitive 40k. Oh no, how bad would that be? It'd all be just suffering and having casual fun, enjoying ourselves, living a good life, playing fun games for fun. Yeah. So I like that. And I've done a whole video on scatter dice and templates and stuff. Imagine having fun. I know, right? I know. Is it different templates in Necromunda? Oh yeah, it's got the tiny ones, like the tiny hand flamer ones. Because they're all the 2nd edition templates. 3-inch hand flamers, tiny blast. Yes. If you're having fun playing 40k, it seems like you're doing it wrong. Paper templates in the back of the book, yeah. Oh, doesn't Legions Imperialis not have scatter dice? Oh, it's got weird. I didn't much like Legions Imperialis when I played it. It was just... This feels like 8th edition Kill Team. Like the 1st edition of Kill Team when it was revamped. The one for 8th edition. Where you were signing things and you're alternating activations, which is okay, and you're adding little tokens to say who's going to shoot first and stuff, and what kind of action movement they're doing. Which was also how Apocalypse worked when they had the D12 Apocalypse game, which was not really supported. Yes. Have fun, grumpy old badger, with your day. Have a good grumpy day. I have fun playing 40k with my friend who gets mad every time he rolls dice and quits during the first 2 turns. Yay! Oh, that sounds fun. Especially when you can't do anything to stop that. Yeah. Can Titans not fire Overwatch? Not in 40k they can't. They changed the way Overwatch works as a stratagem. So, no Overwatch from Titanic models. Points at Castle. Yes. Yeah, well, that's a awful... I do not like the big triple barrel flamer. Never have. Never have. But I can see you as moving on to another unpopular opinion. Oh, it's a shame that's the only person you regularly play with. That's a shame. You need more friends, Valoran. That's what you need. You're getting a fan club going. You need to get more friends out of it. Tabletop Simulator. Discord. I have a Discord. Some people in there then independently talk to one another and play Tabletop Simulator against each other. Play 40k that way. So that's a way of doing it. Titanic models get it, but for 2 CP? Maybe. I do think it's... I mean, Overwatch is pretty powerful anyway. But I think it's okay the way it is. You worked for Games Workshop when Apocalypse came out. We had a tester game. They gave my bike a Scout of Vortex grenade to demonstrate how it worked. Valoran, stop stealing the popular opinions. I am unpopular opinion man. This is unpopular opinion stream. You're doing it all wrong. All wrong. Now people are going to be saying based Valoran or Valoran fan club woo or something. And this is going to be like the Tau thing where that just becomes the meme in the community for a while. Ooh, using Daughters of Cain as Battle Sisters assassins. Yeah, that can work. That can work. So actual Titans have a thing that says anything in their command points cost double. So that's only the very big Titanic things, like actual Titans. Other things like Knights, Imperial Guard, massive tanks, they can't use Overwatch because they have the Titanic keyword. Yeah. Okay, we're moving on from Slaanesh. We have talked a bit about the Katan already, but here's another one for the Katan. If it scrolls. There we go. Yes, Katan not that scary outside of the Hypercrypt Legion detachment. I've mentioned the Katan a bit anyway. So, yeah, they're slow. They need the Hypercrypt detachment to get around the board. And then they can kill stuff. Then they can be incredibly tough. If they're just sitting back on an objective, that's a lot of points kind of wasted to hold an objective. Mortal wounds can hurt them. The Hypercrypt maybe is overpowered. It's one that I haven't faced yet. It's planned to be. I expect that at some point I will face the Hypercrypt Legion. It's coming up soon. So far it's just been a lot of the Awakened Dynasty detachment. Yes. You can technically have 6 Katan in your army. You have 3 regular Katan, then you have the Void Dragon, the Deceiver, and the Nightbringer. There you go. There's your 6 Katan. So I'm hoping that come the next balance patch, which is expected April, well, not a balance patch, a points change. So they'll just increase the points of the Katan. That'll be how they do it. Unless they desperately need to do something with the Hypercrypt Legion, but they probably won't. Looking vaguely at the meta, Battle Sisters are doing well, and Necrons are doing well. Yeah. I think rather than doing a video about the meta... Oh, I could do a video about the meta. Genestealer Cult are winning with one army list, which is loads of Neophytes, loads of Acolytes. The same army list we've had since the start of the edition, just now people have dropped the Nexus. And whereas for the Battle Sisters, we're seeing, okay, we have an MSU-style playstyle. We have kind of mechanized kind of playstyle, where it's more tanks, and we have an infantry spam playstyle, and we have a mixed stuff with Paragon Warsuits and Celestine, and throwing Novitiates with a Palatine together. So that could all work. So maybe that can be a video. Don't know. It should do well. Yes. There was a rumor that Katan would not be able to hyperphase, but that didn't happen. Yeah, they just made it so easy. Magnus is not a tank, therefore he exists wrong. Ah, yes. Legions Imperialis has the red sticky poker eyes sticks. Yeah. Yeah. That works. So Katan will probably go up in points, but not super scary. I don't know. Yeah, the eye pokey sticks. Oh, Valoran's so new to 40k. There's bright red sticks that have a point on the end. And it's an 18-inch long ruler. And you can whip people with them and stab people with them. They're amazing for interpersonal conflict. I think they were banned under the Geneva Convention. Yeah. I have a video on templates and old things. I'm just thinking, hypothetically, if you were to go to my channel, which I will just do now, so I know that it's gonna work, and you type in the search bar templates. Yeah, if you type in templates on my channel for videos, Then there's a video on scatter dice, templates, and random tables, and that includes the murder stabby stick. So that's how you know what the murder stabby stick is. Yeah. Oh yeah, to get rid of Katan, we do have the Light of the Emperor. But you need to have taken damage first. Yeah. Biggest unpopular I have... Well, Games Workshop may find it unpopular, where narrative campaigns have actual winners. Some of them have. The Tyranids won the Octarius War, so that's something that happened. Chaos won the Cadia campaign, I guess, even though they didn't when they actually played it back in 2003. Yes. Oh, Valoran had one friend that played on Tabletop Simulator and then disappeared. No. Yeah. So yeah, Gorbs, they've had some winners. The new Pariah Nexus one, it's just a continuing stalemate. The Leviathan stuff, it's a continuing stalemate, where it's like, nude, high fleet, but it's still Leviathan. And they're attacking and they're eating planets, and then it's like, aha, Space Marine Gladius knife doctrine. Let's harass them on planets that they're going to eat. Yeah. Narrative campaigns, as in, like, the fluff, the lore stuff, those will have a winner as far as Games Workshop's concerned. But when you're playing with friends, yes, your narrative campaigns can indeed have winners to see who wins in the defense of a city or a world. People tend to just go for world level. I think it's better to think of it as, like, city defense, or region defense, or, like, autonomous country within a planet, but it's not autonomous. A regional area, something that's got its own mini-government, a local government. Defend the local government of Putney-upon-Sea, Space Marines, against the Necrons and also the Tau, and also the Tyranids. Yeah. Okay, next one. That's gone a little bit too high. Super Heavies do not belong in 40k. Ooh. Yeah, that's probably correct. But we don't want Soup in 10th edition. We did Soup in 8th edition, and it was so weird. It got a lot of people into a lot of different armies. But this would be starting 2019. When did 8th edition start? 2018. It started in 2018, I think. Yes. What? I'm making people cry. But Super Heavies do not belong in 40k. We should not have knights. It's such a weird thing where you can put a knight army on the table and some people can just not fight it. They just automatically lose. And that's how it's going to be. 2017 the 8th edition started? Was it? Counting. Yes, it was 2018. 2017. Was it 2017? It was about... Yeah. That sounds about right. Sure, we'll go with that. I'll believe you, James Teal. Remember when 40k was kind of like a skirmish game? Mm-hmm. It should be where it's designed for, like, platoon level stuff, so we don't need to worry about flyers, we don't need to worry about super heavies, you don't need to worry about a knight walking in and just deleting your platoon of men. Mm-hmm. That's how it should be, I think. So having, oh yeah, we need to have all of the big things that turn up and blow stuff away. It's designed for apocalypse. That's what it should be, where you had epic 40k. And like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have a Baneblade in your 40k games? And it was for like 5 minutes. And then the rules for them are either so bad that you can't play them, or they're so good and they just stop so many armies from just working at all. It's a shame. It's a shame. Yeah, the Super Heavies belong in 40,000 point games. That's probably how it should be. Or, you know, we have Apocalypse for that. Stuff like that. So, no super heavies. Get rid of all of the knights. They can go away. And we can get back to proper 2nd edition level 40k. The true 40k. Which also worked in, like, 3rd edition, where the biggest thing was a Land Raider. 2,000 points each, 10v10. I mean, when I played Apocalypse games, we tend to do, like, 4v4. And have 2, maybe 3,000 points each, but we include super heavies for that. Fighting against a Warhound Titan is a bit much, maybe. Yeah. What do you needs a sideboard, like having more points? And then you feel 2,000 points? Maybe. Yeah, back when all of the super heavies were Forge World only and virtually unplayable. That is entirely right. They're either virtually unplayable because of the rules, or the points, or just because it's awful to have them. Or you just can't buy them online. I see that Shadow Swords are sold out online, as are like the Doom Hammers and stuff. But more people have been getting them. So when I was playing yesterday, we had a Warhound Titan, I had my Shadow Sword, there was someone else with like a Doom Hammer thing, there was a bunch of big Tyranids, there was loads of super heavies kicking about. And it was weird. Yes, we should have flamer templates. Derpitz is right. Knight Errant gets +1 fitting the closest enemy. What if it's a tie for closest? Do I get both? No, you pick one to be the closest. In that case, if they're absolutely equal distance, down to the millimeter, you choose one to be the closest. That's how it works, Anthony Dale. Oh yeah, monoliths. Monoliths could be big. That's fine. I think monolith level is about as big as it should get. We get rid of super heavies, we have to get rid of tactical squads. No, we don't. Tactical squads stay. Absolutely. And super heavies, not in regular 40k. Yeah. I don't think the sisters need a cavalry or a horse or motorcycle thing. Because we have Seraphim. Seraphim being able to do the fast thing and do the drop thing. Yeah. Just give some... Yeah, I would be okay with intercessors being veterans and being able to have one flamer or plasma gun and one missile or something. Yeah. Primaris tactical squad to replace the firstborn one. As long as it's in Mark 7 armor. I mean, I have a lot of stipulations on this. Introduce Mark 9 armor. That'd be nice. Let's have some Mark 9 armor, which is kind of like the Deathwatch Mark 8 Errant armor, but it's a little bit better. You want bike retributors? Oh dear. I'm just imagining a bike with a sidecar multi-melter, and that's a bit weird. Yeah. Well, I don't think the sisters are meant to have the high base mobility that the Eldar factions do. They have power armor and they have faith, so they can always punch up, in theory, but then we become a horde faction. And we have no stealth units. Well, we've got the death assassins. We've got the assassins. They could work. Can we just steal the speeder from the Space Marines? Maybe. Maybe. Sidecar multi-melter sounds amazing. It would just be saying, okay, you know all the firstborn Space Marine stuff? They belong to the Battle Sisters now. And we can reclaim the Hand Flamers and the Heavy Flamers from the Blood Angels. And all of the stuff that the Black Templars took from us. They can be ours again. Seraphim don't deal damage. They deal some damage. Depends on the kind of thing that they attack. Sidecar multi-melter, but hitting on a 5+. Just because of the speed, meaning that you're not going to be able to hit. Oh, here's a related unpopular opinion. There we go. If we can't get rid of the super heavies, how do we feel about just having it so that the knights are part of another faction? Would that be okay? And then we haven't got, this is an army that's just all murder death, where it's like, oh yeah, you didn't bring 500 anti-tank weapons, you just lose. Imperial Knight-sized Nundums, no. Drop Cathedral. We need a drop Cathedral. Yeah, okay, this sounds actually not unpopular at all, okay. So they're not their own faction. Chaos Marines can have a knight. Admech can have a knight. The Imperials can have a knight. Space Marines, sure, have a knight, maybe? Yeah, why not? We do need a drop cathedral. It is kind of the point, yes, at the moment where, sure, Chaos Marines can take a Chaos Knight as an allies, Admech can take an Imperial Knight as allies, but I would keep it just as that, and then we lose the Imperial Knight faction as a whole. You plan on 3D printing a Tau Manta? I think it's about the same. I think it's like exactly 2,000 points. I played against a Manta at one point. It's... I don't know if it has points. But the Manta is massive. 60 wounds, 5+ invulnerable save, 2+ save normally. Deadly demise 3d6. So many. Just so many cannons. And a 26 strength, damage 12 heavy rail cannon with devastating wounds just on everything. That's a big thing. That's a big one. 2,100 points. Yeah, so it's slightly over that. Tau Manta is a kill team terrain. Yes. I would love to see, I think one channel did it, but you could do a kill team game on at the top of a Manta. Nundum Cathedral. It's a cathedral that walks. Yeah. Okay, people are just agreeing with this. This is not unpopular at all. I see, I see. Imagine if they made St. Catherine on a garden in... Yeah, it's like having sisters... Oh, okay. Unpopular opinion, Tau need their drones back. I found the Tau drones to be so annoying. It's just like, oh, I'll take that hit on the drone. I mean, I say that, and then I'm going to release a Death Watch video about wound allocation shenanigans later today. So there is that. But I found it so annoying to just be like, yep, I'll take that hit on a drone. Not going to take it on the battlesuit. Yeah, stuff like that. If you had access to knights, why wouldn't you bring 4 of them to the battlefield? No! It's gonna break the game, Paul! It's not gonna work. Got everyone here today. We've got Paul, who's bad at stuff. We've got Olden Demon. Everyone I collab with just seems to turn up. Hello! Yes. So, we need drop churches. Knights should not be their own faction. You can't have a knight army play a normal army in Legions Imperialis under the current rules. Yeah, you're right, because they are weird. They're kind of weird. Legions Imperialis, I was not super keen on it. I don't know how much you played of it, Olden Demon, but I found it not the best. And flyers are just way too powerful in that. And even the anti-fly stuff, all of the anti-air guns, have such short range that it doesn't particularly matter. It might be annoying for the people who have 13+ war dogs. Probably. I think it was maybe better to say it's a mistake to have introduced knights as their own faction in the first place. They would have been okay if they were just a big allied thing. Like an Imperial agent. That could work. Yes. You know someone who lost 40 units of Legend Space Marines? Well, it's a good job they have tactical squads and they're going to stay forever. In the main codex. I should not hit the mic in violence. Yeah, the AA gun should be battlefield wide. You know, maybe need line of sight, but should be battlefield wide. That would be a good idea. But that's not how they work in Legions Imperialis. They've got like 12, 15-inch range. And if the aircraft don't come near them, they can just wreck your army. So you need to have anti-air things everywhere. Such a pain. Yeah. Okay, we'll do another unpopular opinion. If we're thinking of splitting up units into different things, that's a lot of confidence about the existence of a unit that's being explicitly replaced in lore. Well, they still exist in some of the things they've mentioned. When they did the Tome Keepers, they were like, oh yeah, they still use some tactical squads. don't you know? So that is the thing. They're gonna be fine. Shush. Let me just take a sip of my cope. Oh, I look forward to your long review on Legions Imperialis, Olden Demon. Sounds good, sounds good. The Tau drone thing is annoying, but it kind of makes sense. Yeah, I hope they would block incoming shots. And also they're weirdly good at shooting sometimes, depending on what they do. Yes, but having them as tokens, I kind of like that. I can cope with that. Somewhere out there, a Necron player is proxying flayed ones as Arcoflagellants. Or other way around, Arcoflagellants as flayed ones. Probably is. Yeah. Because they're a plastic kit. Well, there's a multi-pose kit, and there's also the monopose 3 model kit. No, Paul, don't make a flayed one knight size so they have their own codex. But I see the idea of destroyer cults being their own thing. Just being, as Genestealer cults are a different faction to the Tyranids, the destroyer cults fight by themselves because no one wants to touch them, because then you get the madness. Yeah. That'll be how it works. So maybe they will just release a new tactical squad box. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Flayed ones in Kill Team. They do have them in the Legacy. There's a Legacy one because they had a whole box where it was like 5 flayed ones and a Technomancer, one of the Cryptex, in a Kill Team against 5 of the Gravis guys, the Heavy Intercessors, and a Gravis Captain. Yes, Gravis Marines. The Heavy Intercessors, then, pretty good, pretty good. No, we'll not have Chaos Sisters, no. See, if anyone likes Centurions, Paul really likes Centurions. I was just saying I think they're weird. That's what we were on about earlier in the stream, with Gravis stuff. It's like, Gravis also meant to replace Centurions. I know you like your stealthy, screaming ravens, not Raven Guard, stealthy big chunky boys. Chaos Sisters, there's a fan codex which is okay, but I don't know about them being their own faction. They tend to end up being very Slaanesh related. So maybe we'll have no Chaos Sisters. What would a flayed one codex even look like? Well, we'd have regular flayed ones, bigger flayed ones that fly, flayed ones that come in from reserve, flayed ones with scout, flayed ones with infiltrators, kind of like all of the weird different Space Marines that have all of the different special rules. Something like that. And then a flayed one Lord, because we have the Scorpeth Lord and we have the Locust Lord. Something like that. Oh, we've already covered, Paul, that Centurion should be inside a Dreadnought armor, and that Dreadnought armor should be carried on the front of a Grey Knight's Dread Knight. So it should go even meta. If a non-Raven Guard deep strikes, but there's no Overwatch, does it even scream? Yes. Oh, I think it's on... Oh, I can't remember the chapter. But it's on, like, the 40k wiki, where for a lot of chapters it has, like, oh, Warcry unknown. For one of them, they actually put that in quotation marks. So their Warcry is unknown! Unknown! Not for the Emperor, but unknown! So that's how they scream. Why are people hating on tactical squads? You're all so new. Think of the legacy, think of the lore, think of the implications for how things fight. Yeah. That's how it should be. Centurion Dread Knights. There you go. That can be the one knight that the Space Marines get in their army. A Dread Knight of sorts. It's just one dude hitting on tactical squads? No, I get the feeling that it's literally everyone. And somehow also Valoran. Yeah, tactical squads have held the line for 10,000 years. Tactical squads can't be that tactical when they should have more armor, like a Centurion. Oh, yeah, you should get into High Fleet Matroska. I did a video about that, where you just put... Oh, what was it? The Spore Cysts inside a Spore Cyst inside a Spore Cyst? That is hating on them, Valoran, saying they're going to disappear, they should disappear, and they're bad units. Ooh. Where's the ban button? Mods! Where's my mods? Ah. Okay, so maybe the flayed ones shouldn't have their own codex, but they could work as their own codex. If Age of Sigmar has been able to take from vampire counts one ghost unit and put it by itself as a whole faction, the one ghoul unit and make a whole faction out of it, then I'm sure that the Necrons could have a flayed one army. Ah, that's it. Inside a Tyrannocyte, inside a Tyrannocyte. Yes, yes, that's the one. They're just a las cannon for some points. No! You also get a melter gun. Morning, chicken on a raft. Good morning. Okay, we'll move on to more Tau stuff. There we go. If we're talking allies and things, Votann should be able to ally with Tau. Maybe the Votann shouldn't have their own faction, but somehow they have their own army. It exists. Even though they have like 5 units. But the Tau are known as the... Not the Demiurge. Is it the Demiurge? Yes, the Demiurge. Not every minor Xenos faction is Tau Auxiliary. Yeah, well, they were the... for the Greater Grudge. There's the Demiurge, which are a mining group that are very specifically allied with the Tau. They're Tau auxiliaries. If you play Battlefleet Gothic, or have played the second, and maybe the first one, the Battlefleet Gothic game, the Votann are just even shorter Tau. Yes. So that's where they should be able to ally, because there was a weird thing at the end of 9th edition, where you could have Votann allies as Space Marines, and I think Admech, and Imperial Guard, maybe? Not sure. But they had some weird allying rules, and they couldn't ally with Tau. So, maybe this could work. Catgirl Sister Squad running on like, oh no. No, that could be, there you go. If you don't want your bikes, you don't want your horses, you can have a Catgirl Sister Squad that runs on all 4s. And it'll be like the Fenrisian Wolves, except not awful. Oh. You didn't know that Space Marines don't have an invuln thing. Oh, yeah. Well, the Sisters invuln save rarely comes up anymore because there's so few weapons hitting regular Sisters that are -4 AP. Yeah, the Felinids. I think the Battle Sisters would either go, this is good, good sister, let's have faith from everyone, or they would be like, no, you're kind of a mutant. How many ears do you even have? That makes no sense. Do you have human ears? Do you also have ears on top of your head? What's happening there? So weird. Or maybe they would accept them. It could be like a fun thing. Maybe. Let Votann ally with just Admech. Oh. Oh my. I mean, it would certainly have some, you know, on the tabletop stuff. Yeah. That would help on the tabletop, but they kind of don't like each other. Admech and Votann do not get on. As demons, you guys don't get invuln save? Yeah. I think the Battle Sisters probably should do better. I think that the Celestine Sacrosancts, well, maybe, yeah, improve all of the invulnerable save of the Sisters by 1. So regular Sisters, 5+ invulnerable save. Seraphim, 4+ invulnerable save. Celestine Sacrosancts would then have a 4+ invulnerable save anyway, and then their shields, much like some of the Space Marine shields, give them +1 wound. So you would have 2 wound Celestine Sacrosancts. That could work. You can ally with anyone, but you have to roll to see if they're still willing to fight. You know, this is surprisingly like the 6th edition ally rules. I don't know if you played in 6th edition, Paul, but you could have quite a few allies for your army, including, like, come the apocalypse, desperate alliance stuff where, yeah, you can have Space Marines allying with Tyranids, but then they don't go near each other, they can't count each other as allies, they don't necessarily score points for each other. Yeah. see, Bowler's on board with the 2 wound Sacrosanct, so I think that's how I would fix Sacrosanct. I could do a lot of like, here's how we fix the Battle Sisters Codex, but it seems to be performing okay in tournaments, so I don't think Games Workshop's going to do it, so it's kind of a moot thing. But I would fix the Canoness's weapons. I would make the Battle Sister model for the Palatine actually have a sword. I would give the Sacrosanct 2 wounds. I would bring back regular Celestians. That's how we should do it. Ooh, no. Battle Sisters allying with Chaos Space Marines to let the Argentron sins out. Yeah, the Canoness weapons are absolutely a mess. I would make it so that the Preacher can actually do something useful with the units it can join, like the Arcoflagellants. Oh, you would watch the Battle System fixing video. Don't know. It's tempting. But it's a maybe. Oh, I'll put it as a maybe. I'll write it down. Where's my writing down things? So we've got a Primaris lore video. But from how Tactical Marines are good. Fix Battle Sisters and Combat Patrol. Okay, those are things I can do. I'm not necessarily going to do them, but I could do them. The announcement I was going to do next week is going to be a Gene Stealer cult week. So I may just not do a video the rest of this week and make sure that a video is done for the big, a really big, oh, it's going to be so long, Gene Stealer cult thing, because the Gene Stealer cults have not had much love on the channel for a couple of months now, and since they're lacking a video for a while, a dedicated video, then I'll do a whole week of Gene Stealer cults, which should be at least 3 videos. I think we'll say 3 videos and just, I can commit to that. Yeah, it seems that every time I talk to you guys, I end up with, oh yeah, now here's 3 more videos I need to do. I have so many ideas. So many ideas that I need to do anyway. Some of them are recorded. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it's so many. That's so many videos. So I have at least 4 weeks of videos. And, what is it, the 28th? Wow, okay. Let me just move that out the way. So a lot of videos to do, and at some point, I would just like to have a week off. Because I have not had a proper week off since September 2021. September 2022. That was the last time I had a week off. So that would be nice. That would be good. I could then relax a bit. I'm not making a video about why Centurions are best. No. It would be a short video where I just say, they're not. And it ends. Yes. So I'm thinking of having a week off in March. But you see, March is a special time, as it will then be my 1-year anniversary on YouTube. In theory, not necessarily practice, I started doing things for the YouTube video on the 1st of March last year. I then had the first video, the first proper video, on like the 15th of March, which was when we had the trailer which announced, oh yeah, we're going to have a 10th edition of 40k. And then I had my debut thing properly at the end of March. So I reckon I'll do a kind of anniversary thing for the end of March. Yeah, this is how far I've come. This is how... Ooh. Yeah. Oh, there's going to be Adepticon reveals. Oh no, there's so many things. Do a video on the 1st of March. Oh, I'll have to do a 1st of March video. Oh, there's so many videos. I need there to be like 3 of me. Then I can make this many videos. Yeah. Yeah. That would be good. But I'll do a special thing for like an anniversary of this is how I grew as a VTuber. This is like the story behind it. No, Dr. Crankenfoof cannot help. He's just gonna do it wrong. Yeah. But I'll do a nice, this is how I got here and things. And I think I'll do it as a live stream. I think it'd be best as a live stream. Yes. Yeah. Okay, I'll get back to the unpopular opinions. Whoop. Why did it always jump up a bit? It shouldn't. What else do we have? Heavy bolters. Heavy bolters are okay. Yes, heavy bolters will work. Especially with damage 2, they're good at killing Space Marine equivalents. So Chaos Space Marines, yes. And not Sacrosancts, because they don't have 2 wounds. Let me make that bigger. Not that big, bigger. There's the next one. Being able to mix any army faction units. See, then we can have Leagues of Votann with tactical squads. I'm pretty sure this is a joke. Opinion, answer, idea. But when we can go, oh yeah, let's just get crazy. Why don't we get crazy? Mix absolutely everything. And then we can have Leagues of Votann with tactical squads. We can have Tau with Leagues of Votann. This one's definitely a bad idea. No, but then you would add in rules like you don't get any detachment bonuses if you mix it a bit. But you can just have crazy bad soup. Like, your detachment is you get no detachment bonus. Your stratagems are just the core stratagems. Yeah, Hecaton Land Forges with Engine Seers. They wouldn't actually be able to help each other because the rules on the units would still apply. So things like, yeah, the Tech Priest Engine Seer can only be able to fix Imperial Guard vehicles. Or AdMech vehicles. I forget how they work individually. Then you can have Gene Steel Occult with tactical squads. Yeah! This will be the change that saves AdMech. Deathwatch squads made of models from any unit in the game. Oh, that is a weird kind of endgame. I'm doing my Deathwatch video later today, so that's going to be premiered in 6 hours. 8 hours. 8 hours. 8 hours till that video comes out. Then you can have your Necron Servitor army with Sisters of Silence, Demonettes, and Slaanesh. Yeah. You can it will be absolutely insane. We will be making it so ridiculous. Whatever happened to Jim Bob the Gangleman? We don't like to talk about him. I'm sure he's fine, but we don't talk about Jim Bob the Gangleman. Yeah, I mean, this would be a good way to just start an army. You get whatever you want, you put them in an army together, you don't need to worry about detachments and stratagems and special rules like that. It just works. It would just work. All of the kill teams together. The best of the Brood Brothers units. Tyranids mind controlling some people. Seraphim Scarabs. Yeah. I don't think there's anything else crazy we could do. Oh yeah, you could have the Super Friends if you've been playing since 2012. Admittedly, this sounds like a while ago. The Blood Angels and the Necrons teamed up to fight off the Tyranids in the Siege of Baal. And then the Khorne Demons came and helped. And they fought the Tyranids as well. So being able to represent that as an army, that could work. Then you can have your Votann with your Tau. Finally, the Death Guard get Forge Fiends. Yes. Oh, that would be maximum chaos. Well, potentially maximum chaos, not necessarily chaos keyword. Could have chaos keywords. Yes. So you can be like, oh, okay, let's see how Necrons would work if they could have penitent engines. It could work. I object to people ganging up us. Well, then you could have Tyranids with mind control people. And then it's like, oh, here's my mind-controlled AdMech people. Here's my mind-controlled Eldar. Yeah. You could make your own Dark Mech. You could make your own stuff. Everyone gangs up on the Tyranids because it seems to be the existential threat outside the galaxy. Whereas people don't so much team up against Necrons, unless it's Eldar and Space Marines and the Imperium. Then they do team up. But When they was like, okay, we're going to fight the Tau, says the Imperial Guard. And then the Imperial Navy fleet gets lost for a bit. When they come out, they're in front of High Fleet Gorgon, and they team up with the Tau. And then they're like, it seems we're both too damaged, and there's no ongoing conflict right now, so I guess we'll just part ways. Yeah, Necrons with Mind Shackle allied Scarabs. Okay, demons have Zangors. Yeah. It's rude to beat up someone who just woken up. I've just woken up. I'm doing a morning stream. I never do a morning stream. But suddenly, people are like, oh, you know what's great? Hating tactical squads. No Celestians. All of these things. People defying my accurate opinions. You can contribute to the I Just Woke Up Fund with the Ko-fi link in the description. You could play tactical squads along with Celestians. Oh, if I don't like Centurions, I deserve the hate. Maybe I should just go to Twitter and be like, hey, I don't like Centurions, and just see how it goes. That is a thing I have now. I have a Twitter account. I haven't linked to it anywhere. I might have linked to it in my channel. I would have to check my channel. Where is my channel? Did I have my channel up? If I go to my channel, is it on the link tree thing? Maybe. Maybe the Twitter thing exists. Nope, it's not there deliberately. So I do exist on Twitter. You don't need to follow me on Twitter. So I just do have to exist on the Twitter. But I'm there. I have a Twitter account. So if you see Von Carmian the VTuber on Twitter, that is actually me. All I do is I open Twitter, I throw up that I have a new video, and then close Twitter. That is the only way to run Twitter. Proxy Celestians as a tactical squad. Put neophytes in an orc truck. Oh, it has to be a battle wagon. Otherwise, who has the closest thing to a limo? I mean, I guess the Gene Stealer cult Ridge Runner is limo shaped. That could be a new kit. Ridge Runner variant that also is a limo. Yes. Your unpopular opinion, Daffodil as a Sisters player, is to get rid of predetermined results to choose from. I don't like Miracle Dice either. I think that the Miracle Dice are a bad way of doing the Sisters Faith thing. Having a optional special rule as a, oh, we suddenly get more shots than should reasonably exist. We get sustained hits 1. Oh, there's no way this should have hurt it, but we got lethal hits. I think that may be a nicer way of doing it. Yeah. I mean, it would be super boring, but it would work. I also think the Gene Stealer cult detachment rule and army special rule should be swapped around. We should always get benefits from coming from reserve. Probably. I mean, it's our whole thing. Every unit can deep strike. Why are we not using that? Yes. Oh, I don't know if I said that exact thing. That Centurions are the worst thing to happen to 40k since Matt Ward. I guess I have said it out loud now. But there we go. Ah, hello from Japan. Hello. Yeah. The cheating at dice rolls when you have an opponent that's Eldar. Oh, yeah. I mean, Battle Sisters, just having the same army rule as Eldar is also super boring anyway. So we might as well have the mixed martial arts of the Custodes. I'm having to learn so many Custodes rules because everyone's playing Custodes now. That's like the last 3 games. It's just been, hey, I'll put my Custodes out. And now more Custodes. These sisters should have drop pods. Or drop cathedrals. That's how it should be. There is no disputing this. We know that it's a thing that should happen. But, is it going to happen? I don't know. Don't know. They should indeed have drop pods and a bigger drop cathedral. And the Gene Stealer cult should have an even bigger limo that we can call a limo. But it has a big battle bus. Yes. What was Olden Demons and popular opinion? People hate tactical squads because they've been terrible in the game since they were nerfed a decade or more ago. Yeah, probably. When they've got to have more units, just the constant expansion of the Space Marine Codex. It was happening way before the Primaris Marines. It's like, oh yeah, we've got to make the tactical squads bad because now we need to sell all these other different kinds of Space Marines, including, but not specifically, the Centurions, when they came out in like 2010, 11, about then. Yeah, I think it was for 5th edition. Probably about 5th edition. Things got weird in 5th edition. Definitely. Apparently you don't have unpopular opinions, you just don't talk to enough people. Probably that. Maybe that. You should have fewer friends is the unpopular opinion on that. A bigger limo is just a fancy Rhino Advancer? Rhino Advancers. Are they just bigger rhinos? Or just faster rhinos? Oh no, we're going to get a Titanic unit and it's going to be a drop cathedral that just lands on terrain. Oh, you replace it with the cathedral. Destroyable terrain, potentially. If only there were certain keywords we could use to decide the ability to pick and mix them. Maybe. I wonder if something like Imperium, Chaos, or Eldari could help with that. Possibly. I do like how they're doing allies and things in this edition. It's a bit annoying for Crusade games when I want to have Deathwatch mixed with Battle Sisters, mixed with some Space Marines and Imperial Guard. But I can cope. Which is just how I have to do everything. Just always cope. What do we think of this one, since we're talking about terrain things? Get ready for just nurglings and fortifications. Yeah. That's an Imperator Titan. Well, it wouldn't be able to walk. It would be the Imperator Titan without the Titan bit. Just the cathedral bit. Yes. Super heavy Gene Stealer Cult battle train with multiple carriages. Ooh, that's an idea. Then we can take the Squats train, because the Squats had a train. Copium von Carmian. Yes. Different sizes of terrain. It would be a very complex thing to have terrain that's destructible and having fixed wounds and stuff. It would also mean you'd need to have more models, and we know that tournament players, when they're trying to make these tournament boards, are getting so lazy. They're just having a piece of cardboard and they put a single wall on it and say, yep, that right there, that's a building. Go garrison it. And that's boring. Hello, Lisa. Nice to see you. It is indeed a complex way of doing it. Or you could just have terrain that gets removed, or it's a building that turns into a ruin. Maybe just have like little tokens to say this building is now a ruin, and now you remove it and it's just a crater. Yes. You all think you're doing well until the cathedral will start walking. Then the cathedral stands up. If anyone's played Earth Defense Force 4, 5, they have something like that, where it's a base that then grows legs and starts moving. Earth Defense Force is a crazy game system. Game series. I've played all of them. Well, I haven't played 3, because 3 was just a remake of 1 for the Xbox only, and it was more targeted to America, whereas EDF 1 and 2 were only available in Europe and Japan. Interesting. Yes, the cathedral eats you, roll into a new character. The cathedral is a mimic. It was just a mimic the whole time. Have more units with breaching options like kill team to ignore certain terrain for movements. Well, considering all of infantry ignores movement penalties for moving through buildings and ruins anyway, yeah, it works. People in tournaments seem to not quite understand that there's a difference between this is a ruined building with height and this is a cube. You cannot enter the cube. But they seem to want, oh yeah, this is a whole box where you can't shoot into it or out of it, and it entirely hides your people. Like a full-on bunker. You don't get rules for them anymore, but people seem to think there are rules for them. If I've understood the terrain rules correctly. I'm not doing a video on the terrain rules. That's something not going to happen. No, I've done enough on terrain. Yeah, I did a whole thing of like, I have no idea how cover works, so I have done my terrain video. Terrain can get angry if it gets shot too much and it turns into monster. Well, now we're getting back to 6th edition, where you would roll on the random terrain table to see what the terrain does. Maybe it eats your men. Maybe it's made of iron bark and they get a 3+ invulnerable save. 3+ cover save. It was basically the same thing, an invulnerable save, unless your weapon ignored cover. But yeah, it's like an invulnerable save. Destroyable terrain with wounds exists, we call it fortifications, but you could do it to other stuff, like, oh, I hate how your unit is getting a better save because there's a fence there. I'm gonna shoot the fence. It's a possible thing. Horticulous Slimux could rebuild terrain. That could be something he could do. There's his special thing. Yeah, we're doing Games Workshop, sure, by having drop cathedrals, drop pods, a church base, bit of fortification, cat girl Repentia running on all fours, horse girls, centaur girls, perhaps? Oh, what's that really popular anime that was a mobile game first, where you have horses that race and they're also idols? People in Japan may know it, but I don't know if it's how far it's got outside of Japan. And that was called, like, Musume Girls, Horse Girls. It's, yes, that's it, Uma Musume. Yes, that's the one. I vaguely describe an anime, and someone will know, yes, that one. Ooh. Radical opinion, Games Workshop should reinstate Games Day and sell stands to other miniature game companies. Ooh, that is radical, yes. They would never do that. They try and make the Warhammer hobby is its own hobby. Totally different to wargaming and role-playing. That is very radical. Games Workshop will never do that. Yeah. What's Paul's opinion? Terrain should be made out of tactical marines stuck together to make them useful again. Paul, you have such awful opinions. Paul, stop it. Oh. Yeah. A drop cathedral that turns into a fortification after the squad's out? Yes, I mean, that would work. That's like, sort of like how drop pods work. Fortifications can have transport rules. Yes, that already does exist. So having fortifications, the game is not designed for fortifications. The rules struggle with them, same as the rules struggle for flyers, and they struggle with Titanic units. Just take cover behind this pile of marines. Just think of all the guns it would have because of the tactical marine rules. Can I then split it in half to have 2 half terrain pieces that then move? If that's how it works, that's an option. You've used dead tactical marines as part of the base. I mean, everyone had at one point. They had some... There was 3 models you could get as like a dead tactical squad thing. There was a wounded guy firing his bolt pistol like it's the end of Saving Private Ryan. There was a dead captain who had like a cloak and some power fists. And there was a dead guy in Terminator armor on a throne. So that was a thing they sold. They sold dead or dying tactical marines. Yes. Yeah, the Spore Cyst is not a good unit. There's no good faction terrain. None of them work correctly. The Aegis Defense... No, there's a Wall of... The new Imperial Guard terrain feature, with its movement of Z... excuse me. With its movement of 0, you can give it orders so that it can then move. You can also give it first rank fire, second rank fire if you wanted to, but I don't know why you would because it doesn't have guns, but in theory you could. Ah, right, the Dead Marine came part of a free magazine. Nice. Aha, you'll have tactical marines if they're in Centurion armor on top of that. I mean, Centurions are just a weird frame on top of tactical marines. Yes. The terrain can move but must be in unit coherency. I mean, when you think about it, Gretchen are just mobile terrain for orcs. That's how it's worked. Yeah. The pile of power armor should give cover. Units being able to give people cover is something we've had in the past. Monsters and vehicles should become terrain when they're destroyed. That's... I mean, it works. It has worked in the past where, unless it explodes, your dead vehicle would remain on the table. People just used to flip it over to remember. The problem then, and problem is also a historical problem, it blocks movement for other tanks. So if you're having a very terrain-dense board, as terrain is kind of something that they're pushing as a, yeah, you want to flood your board with terrain, stop it being a shooting gallery, then the dead tank blocks the movement of all other tanks. So if you're playing a tank army, you just get locked in the car park, and the car park is full of destroyed tanks. Yeah, so some people still do that as a house rule, yes. Eldar and Drukhari should have lore-accurate speed. Oh, if we're doing lore-accurate thing, then your army is one tactical squad and you win the game against anything. Take that, because we have lore marines. Centurions should be able to turtle for cover. I think that's the special rule of the heavy intercessors. They get onto an objective and then they just curl into a ball and they get +1 to their save. That's how it works. Yes. You're right, Maxim. The Imperial Guard commanders can order the immobile fort to take cover from itself. Oh. 1,000 Sun Sorcerer. 1,000 Sun Sorcerer kills some Custodes for lore accuracy? I don't know. I mean, the Custodes, they seem to vary on how lore powerful Space Marines are. But that's a thing that they've never been consistent about. Sometimes a Space Marine squad can conquer a planet. Other times a Space Marine squad will lose half their members trying to go underground. But maybe that's just the new lore to do with Primaris Marines. So there's that. New Space Marine detachment, Hammerfall Bunker is battle line. And only the Hammerfall Bunker is battle line. Yes. So when I'm buying things, I'm usually thinking, how long is this going to last? Which has been a bit of a problem with the Death Watch, as I'll explain later today in the video that's coming out in 7 3/4 hours. Then figuring out, is this going to last for next edition? Is this going to be viable for this edition? Am I going to have to use legends? Stuff like that. Yeah. I do think the Tactical Squad still sells quite a lot, and I think that people will want the Tactical Squad to stay. I mean, Games Workshop made a lot of money off the Tactical Squad box, so I think it'll still stick around, because people are not buying the Intercessor Squad box as much as the Tactical Squad box. Also, the Assault Intercessors as a box, because they were a monopose model in the starter set for 8th edition, 9th edition, then they started giving away the Assault Intercessor multi-part models. Just like, oh yeah, model of the month, throw out loads of Assault Intercessors. We don't need them. We have too many of them. Get rid of them. So the Tactical Squads will maybe stay. Just for Games Workshop sales purposes. And Devastator Squads are super popular. I don't know what you'd replace them with. Apart from Devastator Centurions, we know that they exist. We know we can have 6 las cannons and 4 lots of bolt guns and stuff on them. Ooh, a kill team is just 3 Centurions. At one point for the 8th edition one, you could have a kill team that's just 3 Lictors. It's pretty good. 11th edition Hammerfall Bunker goes to Legends. I think it's too recent a kit for them to do it. But, you know, it may happen. It may happen. Remember that one time a single Custodes squad fought an entire hive ship to a draw? I don't. Is that a book? I don't know. It could happen. A kill team can just be a Centurion, a Terminator, and a Gravis Captain. Probably. I don't know the current rules for kill team. I haven't played that much. You don't think the Devastator Centurions as good as the Assault Centurions, walking towards the enemy slowly and smashing them? That is a way to do it. Let me check Ventress. Uriel Ventress, what can he join? He doesn't seem to be able to join literally everything. So that's good with his suddenly getting Deep Strike. I may have to check the Space Marine Codex, which may be different. I just pull up the index because that has a search function, and most of the things in the Space Marine faction are basically the same, if not actually the same. Not a lot of change when they got their codex, whereas Necrons have changed quite a lot, to the point where Necron warriors are not good anymore. And that's a shame, because hordes of Necron warriors was cool looking. Now it's just hordes of really awful Immortals. What can we join? Assault Intercessor Squad, Blade Guard Veteran Squad, Company Heroes, Intercessor Stern Guard, Tactical Squad. He can join the Tactical Squad. Yay! So you can't give Uriel Ventress the ability to deep strike with Centurions, but I guess... Oh, what can join Centurions? Does anyone want to join Centurions in the Space Marine Codex? Let's have a look. Factions, Space Marines. I have to do it on Warpedia, which is just better. Oh my goodness, there are so many Space Marine units. This is awful. Centurion Assault Squad. Who can join them? Nobody? Nobody's joining them. Good. That's good. Yeah, no one can join the Centurions. Haha, take that. Assault Centurions are fun to put in a Land Raider? Maybe, maybe. In your Crusade game, the Assault Centurions have killed basically half of all of the units you've killed. I could see that happening. I would probably just tie them up with a bunch of Gene Stealers or something. Slow them down. Because you won't do as well against invulnerable saves. Possibly. Yeah. If using the Orc Mechboy Workshop every game is wrong, I don't want to be right. That's fun. Ah, yes, you can use all the stratagems from the different detachments, like the Raven Guard detachment, and... I don't know if there's any other ones. Mainly the Raven Guard detachment. They're popular in that, for being stealthy, disappearing from the table and reappearing. But you can't infiltrate them, so that's something. Where's the Imperial Guard Tank Company kill team? Oh, it would just be lots of the little... Oh, what's the little one called? The really cute ones. They explode. Centaurs? The Centaur tanks? Just lots of them. Now it's just, yeah, the Warriors. The Warriors got sad. Just hordes of Katan rather than hordes of Necron Warriors. They're too intimidating to join. They're already overpowered, apparently, these Centurions. Rogaldorn is back, and he's in Centurion armor. Yep. Oh, dear. No, if there's too many Space Marine units, we need to keep the Tactical Squad, because that's a mix of lots of other squads together. You've got your Devastator Man, you've got your guy with Plasma Gun from the Plasma Gun unit. Everything becomes a Deathwatch thing. Yeah. Cyclops, the little Cyclops, that's it. The Cyclops, not the Centaur. Yeah. Cute Cyclops. I was suddenly thinking of X-Men. The 90s X-Men show is coming back. And I don't know if it's going to just be a continuation. I need to finish that. I started ages ago, like 15 years ago, I started watching the X-Men from the 90s just so I could watch all of them. Recently I've been watching Gargoyles from the 1990s. Don't look up Demona. Nothing happens when you look up Demona. She's not a weird muscle girl that's also a gargoyle. She is that. That is basically her. Anyway, that's what I thought of with Cyclops. X-Men. Yeah, Gargoyles is a really good show. It's something you should all watch. Yes. What if a bunch of Primaris Marines went to Chaos? Tactical Marines would be needed. The best way to cut down the Marine range is to separate every weapon into its own squad. Yeah. Oh dear. Demona was such a good villain. Yes. They have really good villains in that show. Gargoyles has decent villains. I mean, a couple of them are just palette swaps for other characters, but I can see them saving on budget. It's the 90s. It's understandable. Tomboy sororitas propaganda. Yes. I do have more videos on Sisters I need to do. It was meant to be more videos for the Sisters Week, but I'm relying on other people, including Krankenfoof, to get more videos out for them. Obliterators are kind of Centurions, yes, yes. Oh yeah, instead of 5 captains, should just be 1 datasheet with different options. They have been cutting away a lot of the weapon options though, which sucks. Yes. Oh yeah, he did look like Riker, the Gargoyle's main villain. Mr. Xanatos. He did look, and it was the same voice, I think. Yeah, yeah. It's a good one. It's a good one. The 19s cartoon Muscle Girls to Sister Battle pipeline. Yep. That's what every millennial's gone through. Yeah, the Obliterators technically are Chaos Terminators that have gone extra warpy and have all of the guns. Garou Sisters. I think you can just make your own Garou Sisters, Lisa. You do a lot of good conversion stuff. Ah. Yes. Does anyone have any other good ideas? No, bad ideas. Bad ideas. Bad ideas for unpopular opinions. I'll quickly check the Discord, but yes. Did you like the 90s Rogue time for nuns? I don't know, is that a game? Is that, or is that just the Rogue Traders style? I mean, I like the Battle Sisters in 1997 when they came out. They were really good metal models. Muscle Girl Centurions. Yeah. No. Not allowed. Very bad. Good. Nothing extra popped up for the Discord. Dark Mechanicum when? Well, they have 2 units in Legends, so you can play them in Legends. Female Space Marines. Well, we've done the female Space Marine chat last time I did an unpopular opinion, I think. Yes. Ooh. There's an unpopular opinion. What if we use Miracle Dice to mess with your opponent's rolls? Yeah, that would be really awful. Really, really awful. I can't think of anything good that could come from that. I mean, it's a miracle. It technically is a miracle. Yeah. Hello, Saphirian? Hi, Christian. I want to say thanks for all the good guide videos to Sisters. Thanks, you've won your first 1,000-point Sisters. Yay! Good. Nice. We need more Ministorum units and lore? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have half a dozen models for them. Yeah. I think when we come round to the Battle Sisters, they may look at revamping how the Battle Sisters Codex works with the Ministorum units. After all, the Assassins and the Crusaders, they only exist as 2 model units because they were part of like Inquisition squads. You could add them onto your Inquisitor unit. That kind of thing. So they may say, okay, we're going to get rid of them or expand them or something like that. I just finished my 2 Crusaders, so I hope that they do stick around. But if we also had... I guess we technically have new Ministorum Preacher and new Ministorum Missionary kind of dudes. So that's a thing. They could definitely use something other than the metal models, though. Yes. The entire Battle Sisters faction is Ministorum. I have it as a list on my list of videos to do. How viable is an all Ministorum Battle Sister army? So that's a possible thing that could come out. Add more Chaos God models. Why do we need balance? Well, yeah, if we've got different gods kicking around there, like we have Marathi, we've got... think of other gods. Teslis is kind of a god. We haven't got Sigmar himself, but we have a lot of vague gods. Yeah, we need the Fraternus Militia. To roleplay Fraternus Militia, I use Battle System Novitiates. The models are basically equipped the same way. Auto pistol, combat weapon. It works. Yes, the Adeptus Sororitas is a branch of the Ministorum, yeah. I don't think we've got the Horned Rat. Use Miracle Dice to relocate enemy units. Wow, that's a bit mean. That's a win the game thing, because the game is all about movement. Or you just move them in front of your gun line and then shoot them to death. Mm-hmm. Yes, all Sororitas are part of the Ministorum, but not all Ministorum people are Battle Sisters, yes. Ooh. Unpopular opinion. Games Workshop should return to exclusively metal models. I like the plastic models. I like the ones we had where you had multi-part arms that you could actually pick, and it wasn't just, this is basically a monopose model in a multi-part kit. That is the worst of both worlds. That is what the Battle Sisters squad is. But I don't think going... okay, this is apparently, yeah, an unpopular opinion. The Rogue Trader boxes. Yeah, kit bashing is so much easier with plastic. Sculpting your own things is so much easier. Modeling them and making them better. Doing it in metal, you have to become such an expert. And some people did it in the olden days for Golden Demon stuff, but I don't think it's something that we should all have to do. Thankfully. Yeah, kit bash these Metal Orc boys. Oh, yeah. Make Chaos Mechanicus and then shuffle Mechanicus. Chaos Mechanicus to Chaos Mechanicus and... Oh, right, yeah, the Chaos Knights go to Chaos Mechanicus. And the Imperial Knights get stuck in Loyal Mechanicus. Probably. That's a pretty good idea. I would definitely cover that as an unpopular opinion. No, you having to drill and pin all the models. Yeah, it was awful. I mean, I quite like my Metal Battle Sisters, but that's because the poses are really cool. I wouldn't want more of them. And they were just attach a backpack. I can cope with just attaching a backpack. Adding the special weapons and the heavy weapons and trying to get them to stick on and having to use the metal glue. Ooh, not as great. You want to pick up some Metal Sisters to try and pay my dues to the past? They're really cool models. A lot of the plastic models with like the grenade pin being thrown. Not the grenade pin. Throwing the grenade but pulling the pin out with your teeth. That is a homage to a Metal Battle Sister model. So they're really nice models. Yeah. Your neophyte or hybrids use autoguns and want las guns. It would be nice if there were shotgun rules still, but never mind. Armored Sentinels, good. Ah, I like the Scout Sentinels. Well, they can now have plasma cannons, so take that, Armored Sentinels. Valor and the Lost with having the wrong opinion all the time. You have some old metal Tau stealth suits. So is that the Mark 15 stealth suits? Rather than the Mark 25 chunky ones? I never liked the idea of having really chunky things as a stealth suit. You might as well have stealthy Centurions. Yeah, the XV15 ones. Good. They're really nice. I like them. Shame they're in metal, but yes, they're really nice. Black Templars shouldn't be their own special thing and all the Space Marines should be one faction? Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea, yeah. What about more Saints as characters other than Celestine? I like that. That's a decent idea. I think we can cope with that. What if we had just a generic... What if we had regular Saint? Multi-part Saint? That could work. Yeah. Do more with Drukaria than just dudes in boats. I mean, they tried. They have Monster Horde. That's the thing they've tried. Well, you've got the Homunculus Covens. It's an option. There are other ways, in theory, to play Drukhari, but dudes in boats is their main playstyle, at least. The metal models are interesting as the benefits to metal, because the turnaround time is so fast they can cast up super niche stuff like the old Epic range. Well, yeah. Having to fix them, though, that was a lot of a problem. Get rid of all the flash, get rid of all of them weird, which is like mold lines, but it's weird and curled around. Yeah, Plastic versions of stuff. I prefer plastic. Generally. I know the metal stuff, you could technically melt it down and recast it and do it again. That could work. But the plastic is so much easier and nicer to play with. And it doesn't break as badly. Yeah, although then again, the battle system models, if you drop one of them, it shatters into 1,000 pieces and just goes all over the place. It's not great. I don't like the multi-part battle sisters. I don't like the monopose battle sisters either, but there we go. It's just a thing I have to cope with, I guess. Go all fine cast, that was clearly superior. Yeah, it was the best of both worlds. Do you remember that being the best of both worlds? Oh dear. Brood Brothers and... Oh, Rambo, that's a fun one. The Brood Brothers and the regular Genestealer cult should be separate armies with separate codexes. I like that. That's a fun idea. Yeah. The rhino you had exploded when it fell over. The pain is real. Mm-hmm. It sure is. That's just how it goes. Such a shame. Such a shame. How heavy a resin model is? Yeah, I mean, if you've ever picked up 3D printed stuff, a lot of them have really heavy parts. It depends if you can print them hollow or with like power struts in between to keep them steady, or if you're just 3D printing a block, because the blocks of resin are very heavy. It will make your models fall over. If you have like, oh, I'm just going to 3D print this one gun that my tank doesn't come with, and it'll tilt over. Awful. Ooh, corrupted armies. Nice. Yeah, Gretchen Codex. I would hope to see in the Orc Codex a Gretchen thing. Just, here's your Gretchen Revolution. And it's an army. Farewell, Zarota. Well, I'm looking to finish about now anyway. So I have been streaming for 2.5 hours. That's a while. That's a while. Okay, I'll do like one more unpopular opinion. And I'll get it from the list. Come here, list. Come here. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Well, unpopular opinion. No. This is wrong. Werewolves are not better than vampires. Not in 40k, not anywhere. This is not an okay opinion. Right, we're done. This is purely awful. We're never doing another unpopular opinion stream before. Again, no more. I'm getting rid of it. It's a stupid idea. Clearly, mistakes were made. Chat's awful. Whoever put that in, you're banned from all of the things. Cancelled on the Twitter. Yeah, it ended on the hate speech. Why not both? No. No, no correct opinions. It's not correct. It's awful. It's wrong. Vampires are better. Look at the vampire. Look how objectively better he is than anything werewolfy. Proof. I'd need to collab with a werewolf person just so I can stand next to them and look good. No, don't play Space Wolves. Play Blood Angels. Guy, you're doing it wrong. It's incorrect. Yes, Darren is got it. It is exactly incorrect. The Fae are better. What are you, an Eldar player? Awful, awful. Okay. Well, on that horrible last bombshell thing, that's where we're going to end the stream. So in 7.5 hours, there is my Deathwatch video on how to play Deathwatch premiering. I'll be there. It's going to have lots of exploits. If you want to come and laugh at rules and how the rules are exploited, then it's a great one. And also if you like Space Marines or Deathwatch, you know, that works too. You can come for that. Then I'll see about doing maybe some other video later this week. It's one of them. One of them that's on the list. There are so many. Maybe one that's Deathwatch related. And then... You're welcome, Daniel. You're welcome. And then next week, I will get back to actively doing Genestealer Cult content. So what I may end up doing just for the rest of this week is making sure I have lots of longer Genestealer Cult videos actually ready. It's a thought. Maybe one thing. I'll figure it out. There may be another video later this week. We'll have to see. But next week, Genestealer Cult week. I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, evening, morning. Goodbye, my darlings and viewers. Have a great day.